Mamma mia!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory this morning. All three major U.S. indexes coming off a fourth straight losing week last week. It's the first time since August 2019 we've had four straight weekly declines, four major indexes. The NASDAQ, tech-heavy stocks in particular, did kind of offset the declines to end last week, rallying into the weekend. We saw the NASDAQ finishing nicely higher on Friday in particular. Pandemic-related uncertainty seems to be the cause for, the only negative cause for a little bit of a pullback over the past few weeks for markets. We're seeing some more questions raised again this morning when it comes to certain vaccine names. We'll talk about Inovio coming up, INO, big move to the downside following negative news on their potential candidate for a vaccine. So we'll talk about that. We also have travel-related stocks moving to the upside this morning. Some funding for the airlines, cruise lines also in positive territory. Big name tech stocks worth looking at. We'll have a look at Apple this morning, leading the futures to the upside at this point. Tesla shares, all the EV makers nicely higher on the morning, including Nikola, Workhorse, and NIO, with more news coming out of China overnight. So we'll have a look at the EV makers coming up as well. It's Monday, September 28th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Hong Kong leading as far as gainers, 1.04% to the upside. Had Korea there in positive territory as well. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Nicely higher right across the board outside of Turkey, the only one to the downside. Shift over to North America here and see how things are shaping up. Yeah, nice gains here right across the board. All three U.S. indexes nicely higher. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a solid gain coming up at the open. Brazil's open, trading higher with Bitcoin basically flat on the day, both crude oil and gold also in positive territory. Good morning, guys. It is Monday morning. Lots to get through so far this morning. We have an exciting week to come. First U.S. presidential debate set for tomorrow evening in Cleveland, Ohio. Must-watch television? I would say so.
Get your popcorn ready. Although I had a bet with our producer. Well, he was basically saying it's going to have better ratings than the Super Bowl. I tend to think that's a little bit crazy, but it should be interesting, should be fun. My Bills are 3-0, so you know I'm going to be in a good mood this morning. A host of news in the EV space and a couple of big IPOs coming later on in this week. And of course, I mean, the big thing today, guys, we're going to be doing our that Q&A just about right after the show at 12:30. It should be a lot of fun, but Sean, it feels like it's a good start when we got some good positions on here. I'm a little bit jealous. I have two good shorts on, but a little jealous of that I&O position.
Yeah, I mean, finally joining the party here. I&O down 33.5%. So you did take that bet? We gotta find out, because now I'm going to be interested in.
There is no actual. I don't think we actually agreed on terms, but like it just seemed a little crazy to me. The Super Bowl gets big ratings, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be bigger ratings. The Super Bowl will be bigger than the debate, but that's coming up tomorrow night, so we're going to watch out for. Look, Biden's for sure going to be talking about capital gains tax most likely and restructuring some of the tax, not loopholes, but how he reinvented the tax system there. So that'll be coming on. Healthcare will be a big topic as well. We have Uber flying around. There's lots happening. Apple's back to 115, so we'll celebrate that one. Anyone went long with us last week. Congratulations on that one. I'm seeing a lot of love on CCL as well. Brendan, needless to say, it's 9:05. Let's get this started.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of strength coming out of Apple this morning. Let's have a look, guys, what's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Brand new educational video coming your way about 11:45 or so. Valeria will have the link for you. Yeah, all about trading breaking news versus just straight up price action. If you come in looking for stocks that are moving on news or just trading straight up price action every single day. So lots of good stuff in that video. Stick around for that one again coming up near the end of the show. Valeria will have the link for you. Speaking of Valeria, good morning. It is Monday. How are you?
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. Happy Monday, everyone. Please subscribe to this channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Take it away, Brandon.
Yeah, let's jump into what is moving around coming up after the show. One more time here. Yeah, well, sorry guys, throwing you a curveball here. Our first ever live Q&A for members, guys. Join us at 12:30 this afternoon. We're going to sit down for about 30 minutes or so, answer any questions you have. We've had such a great response as far as the memberships are concerned. We wanted to give you some of our time in return, so join us coming up at 12:30. As we'll answer any questions that you guys have. Let's jump into what is moving around. If you haven't done so already, sign up for the watch list, guys. It's absolutely free. NIO, the first one on the watch list this morning. NIO moving around. We talked about this a little bit last week. They came out, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. They talked about taking back more ownership on NIO Holdings, which is the owner or the majority owner of the actual car company. From major investors. So they're doing that again up to 600 million, or the equaling 600 million US. They're going to be getting back from major investor. So NIO, I mean the entire group, guys, to the upside this morning anyways.
Yeah, pick your poison. NIO, Workhorse is moving. Just about all of them, even XPeng moving to the upside. I just have a couple of levels I'm working off of. You go to last week. You go to both Thursday and Friday, like a 1950 area top here. From there, double top at 20. We'll look to see if we can get to those on NIO. But let's remember that theme that happens, this little dip that usually, even on up days on NIO, it just tends to sell off going into the open, and you'll see those opportunities come in. So I'm looking right around 18. It's about 1840 as a bit of a target range. If there's a dip into that range and we catch any kind of a turnaround, it gets in there, doesn't break 18. I think I'd look for a dip buy opportunity on NIO.
Yeah, the stock I have on right now is INO, but we'll switch over to NIO right now. So that should be a tongue twister for us throughout the day. Look, we're up 3%. I did want to call up just so you guys can see what happened Monday early when we first, or Monday's today. Friday when we opened up $17, $18. We break the high of the day at that point, which was the intermarket high, pre-market high of 18.21, and then banged it up to 18.50 and stopped. So it likes to stop at key levels, which is what a surprise. We're right at that $20 mark. So I like this as a 3-minute chart. I like this one off of $20, off of $19 today. It's close. We're only 8 cents away right now, so I don't know. If we hang around here, watch for a break of 19 right off the year open, but then you got to try to get out relatively fast. Look at the day chart. We are rate bouncing up on these highs, man. 1930, 1940, 1950. It doesn't seem like this news is a huge catalyst to the upside, but obviously with the market today, NASDAQ up nearly 2%, the ES rocking and rolling today as well. So yeah, we look for NEO to get some legs underneath it and maybe hit finally that 1950 mark. Let's see if it breaks 19 first.
A couple of positive notes on Workhorse from analysts this morning as well. Let's talk about Tesla first, though. Bouncing back this morning, we had 2 or 3 days to the downside last week after Battery Day. It was a bit of a flop. But Tesla announcing a 5-year agreement with Australian miner Piedmont Lithium. So signing their own lithium supply deal with PLL. We're going to have a look at that one coming up here, also on the watch list. But let's cover Tesla here first, guys. Kind of grinding back to the downside, I just noticed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chagrin of a day trader when you do have that move that happened. Tesla held basically $400 all afternoon without going on Friday, but you do get this little gap up. So it is what it is. It was a long that made some money, but could have been a lot bigger. I'm watching this like 440-ish area if we ever get up there. Kind of like a interesting sort of choppy zone between 25 and 40 if you go back into the 20 seconds. So spent the entire day in a very, very tight range. It wouldn't be crazy if we saw the same thing. You can probably guess the downside of that. 420 this level down here. So that was the target on Friday. Let's look to see if it can hold that. I think that's a bullish sign if it holds 420 this morning. If not, good chance we end right back up at that 405, 410 area from Friday's top. So 440 the top side, looking to hold 420. If that holds, you catch a bounce there, we can get bullish on Tesla. But I don't trade Tesla if it's moving sideways. I thought there'd be a break on Friday. It ended up mostly sideways.
Okay, Brennan, just while I do this Tesla thing, one of our members, SH, wondering about Chevron, which is CVX, wondering about that upgrade from Bank of America, if they gave a price target. If you have that, thank you for SH for that on the chat. It's not on our watch list. Tesla, okay, up 4 and a bit percent here. The only mistake was not buying more Tesla last week. Instead, we stepped in and we bought some Apple, we bought some JP Morgan. But you can see here, this is the daily range for Tesla. Obviously, it goes up to 2,400 before the split. And then right here, man, we dipped down to 355. 350's been kind of a bouncing spot here. We've gone there once, twice, 3 times, and now bumping back up to 4.25. So, I mean, right here is 470 is the top on the daily chart. I don't think we're going to get to that anytime soon, but 470, well, I mean, we could get that tomorrow, not today. And then 428 for the top. I mean, just play the ranges right now for Tesla. You got to watch out. It's up 4%. The cult loves this stock. So, yeah, 428, man. You take out that top, you got to punch long.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to double check on that Chevron upgrade here. Yeah, give me a couple of minutes, guys. I'll double check on that, and I will pass that along. Let's talk about Workhorse real quick. Up big time this morning. A higher relative volume, worth noting as well, on Workhorse in the pre-market versus what it normally does in the pre-market. There was a couple of positive notes when it comes to maybe gaining a little momentum on the back of negativity coming through with regards to Nikola and also Tesla after Battery Day as well. So Workhorse we saw on Friday, big time move to the upside. There's also a little bit of news regarding the Lordstown Motors SPAC, which is that Diamond Peak Holdings. They actually have a 10% stake, which I wasn't aware of. I'm not sure if you guys were, but yeah. So Workhorse holds a 10% stake in Lordstown Motors. So we saw that one moving last week as well.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. When that was moving to the upside, that's the kind of thing that if you already like Workhorse, man, that just gives you the juice to get to that. Some of those breaks we had, 24, of course, was the price we were watching on Friday. You did have a nice little bottom there in the afternoon, but we're gapping up right into this key level. It's like 26.40 to 26.60. We're we're going to open just below that range. There's obvious breakout potential if we get through the top end there. If it can't hold it, you saw what happened. It was basically a $6 move down within a couple of sessions off that same level, and it actually had tanked $4 or $5 into that 26.50 before falling off a cliff. So it's an important price here. I think it's a decent chance that it might give you a bit of a fake out initially. So it's got good volume, but I'm probably going to allow an opening range to be made on a workhorse. I don't want to have it break the top and just automatically go long, only for it to slide back down. If it goes to 24, however, there's a really deep dive down. That's when I'd be looking to pick some up. If I can get that level again, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, let's let it make a bit of a range.
Okay, yeah, workhorse, you know, guys, we smashed this and we flossed it off on Friday when we hit it right here through $24. We waited very patiently for it to take out the high of the day there, and it did that, and we ran that long, and we are getting a lot of love for that, going long through 24, and then it topped out at 25.50, so that was a big long for workhorse on Friday, and I think the same thing can happen again, man. It's 26.70 or so to the top side. We don't have anything to worry about. Neil just went over a bunch of different levels there, so nothing to worry about on the top side. If we break 26.60, it can go. So it's already been up here before. So we expect some volume to come back in on these levels. So yeah, I don't know. I like it, man. I mean, it was the bottom 26.70. Now it's the top of the day. So looking good to me, which would be the workhorse long. But I mean, a lot of these stocks, like we just said, have come back in. Let's go a 1 minute chart here. They faded back just a little bit. We come off its highs here. So got to watch out for 26.70. It won't happen right off the open, but when it does, we'll be in it.
All right, guys, we'll talk about Uber here, the ride-sharing group, I guess, being led by Uber higher this morning after a UK court, London court, removed their appeal or agreed with their appeal to grant them their license to continue operations back in London for a minimum of 18 months. So an 18-month extension after the license was removed. I think it was late last year. We actually had that finalized, but this was going back to a 2017 dispute. So, I mean, Uber, a nice look here this morning, up last I checked, 3.5% here, guys.
Let's just check what it's up right now. Yeah, exactly. Still that 3.5%. Bouncing around, 210,000 shares, decent volume, not huge. Thought might have been a little bit bigger with all that news there coming from London. I remember when they lost some of the contracts there and their licenses to operate, I believe it was down a lot more than just 3%, thinking that it was going to relate to other countries and other jurisdictions and whatnot, but that really didn't happen. So Uber, look, I mean, I keep getting those 50% off Uber Eats and Uber taxis and whatnot. So I don't know if these guys are making money. They're not. We've seen their earnings reports. So this is just a play on the future, a play on autonomy. I do like Uber taking out these tops of $36. It's an exciting stock to go. It's only 210,000 shares. I did want to quickly check the imbalance locator before we started. We always have this Just Energy. CCL is on here as well. The important thing about this that we're going to look at right now, we're going to talk about Virgin Galactic soon. I do like that one. But other than that, no Uber on here, but look at this. All B's for Brendan right here, all B's. So it's going to be a good day for us, and you got to look at the momentum coming in the market. Up 1.8% is the NASDAQ right now.
I did specifically request that they all be B's this morning as well. So yeah, let's go on to Inovio here, guys. I just saw somebody mention in the chat they were thinking about buying this Inovio move to the downside. I was kind of perplexed by this as well. This FDA hold that has been put on the Inovio trial is in relation to the instrument they're using to deliver the vaccine. So the FDA actually doesn't have any problem, it seems, with the vaccine itself. It's the instrument they're using to actually deliver the vaccine that's in question. So nevertheless, their trial has been put on hold for the time being, guys.
Yeah. And we went short. I mean, look, besides all that fact there, obviously I'm not a scientist or anything like that or know anything really about these holds or these studies, but what we were just playing off of was kind of easy. It was just a $12 level right there. So we took some shares pretty early, not as soon as we sat down, but 8:35 is pretty early for me there. So we take that position and we gave ourselves a very, very easy out. We're short at 11.74 right now. It's, 50 plus pennies in the money right now. And well, exactly 50. And then we only were giving this one to about 12.10. So we've already cashed in, ding, 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 ding. Our best out is 11.05. I have bids No, I don't even have bids in the 11s anymore. They're all sub 11 right now. So I like this one. And again, we've never got, these are bad prints. We never got down here to 10, 12 or whatever. But we'll wait. We got some bids out there now, just in case that does come cracking down. 10 looks like a solid level. I don't know if we get there. Again, not trying to judge what this news is exactly, just trying to play off some key levels there. And it looks like 12 is the one. And I'm surprised. We had shortable shares. It's down $34 or down 34%. So this looks like a good one. And I think some panic selling probably flushed this thing down a little bit more off open.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that 10 area. You said like 1040. You go back far enough here to the middle of the month, and you're just gonna see that 1040 level sort of stick out like a sore thumb. Lots of chop down here between 10 and 1040. Could be a place that it could bounce. And as Brendan mentioned, it doesn't seem like it's the end of the world news, but a gap like that, you can't ignore the selling, a panic selling, as Sean had mentioned there. So I don't have that short off 12. I think it's a solid one. If it can't get back through there off the open, could be a place to jump in. But I'm going to be looking for 10 area to the bottom to see if I can buy on the dip, use that support.
We will talk about Apple. Guys, we mentioned early strength here in Apple kind of leading the way to the upside, although I just noticed it's breaking 115 to the downside as we speak here. No significant news. I mean, we talked last week about the iPhone 12 launch coming up early October, a little bit more as far as rumors floating around this morning as to what is going to be included on the phone, things of that nature. Norway also out this morning. I thought it was interesting. Note they are going to introduce a new COVID tracking app based off of Apple's technology that is already out there. But yeah, back through 115 to the downside here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, I keep saying Apple, like there's no better barometer for the market than Apple. You could either buy index funds or you could buy Apple, it seems like. But yeah, no, up 2.5% here, was up higher. You see the NASDAQ still making moves. As this goes, NASDAQ will go as well. You know, Apple just nice move off the afternoon. Normally the afternoon gets faded out. It was bought yesterday on Friday, so they bought the afternoon, and I don't see why they're not going to continue to buy it. 1550 to the upside here on Apple. Sure, I mean, when I call up the daily chart, it's going to be a little ridiculous because of the splits, but you know, we do have highs here, 1117 or so, and the bottom 1106. We're not going to get to that today, but I like Apple. It's just right now, there's not really, like you just mentioned there hasn't been huge catalyst for this move other than the fact that it's just such a great stock and everyone loves to buy Apple. So I think it's exciting for 5G coming through. I'd rather look at names if you want to get a little bit bigger moves, maybe Qualcomm, things like that that have some space in that, or you know, some news with Apple as well on the 5G chip side. So I like Qualcomm and I like Apple here.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like Apple might roll over a little bit, just looking at the market. Holding a bit of a range here. If it gets taken out to the bottom, we're watching 111 to 112, this sort of target area in the afternoon where we had a bit of a bump at 2 o'clock. That's where I'd look to see if some buying would come in, much like it did on Friday afternoon. Otherwise, let's stick to some of the, I guess, possibly more volatile names on today.
Let's go to lithium world here next. I was just checking this Piedmont Australian lithium miner. It is, in fact, a small cap. $223 million market cap for PLL. Trades over on the ASX in Australia, but also in the US here on the NASDAQ. PLL on the NASDAQ, 215% to the upside this morning. A 5-year agreement to supply Tesla, guys, with lithium.
Yeah, I mean,
never heard of them.
The daily chart's going to say the story for this. Obviously, that's a pretty solid catalyst for them, and you're going to see the ridiculous move. It's up 200%. There's no levels to work off of when it comes to the daily chart mostly, but you are seeing it hold after giving back off of 46 level. So first thing, it made a bit of a bottom here at 32 multiple times on decent volume. It's done almost 3 million shares in the pre-market, so there's some actual buying that's coming into this stock at that 32 price. That's the first thing I'll be watching. A bit of a sort of level forming a roof at 40. If it does try to take that level and fail off the open, I'd be looking to jump into shorts off that 40 level. Otherwise, you're looking for a 32 break. Obviously it's good news. 200% is rather large. I'd like to see if there's an opportunity to short it. It was a little expensive to get those shorts. We're able to for just over 30 cents a share. So it's moving $2, $3, $4 at a time. That makes it worth it. First test, if it breaks or if it fails to break 40 off the open, I'm going to look to short off that level.
And guys, here we go again. We hit this off the open here. INO, big trade alert for this one. Again, it's not the shares here. It's just the structure. Really happy. Normally we don't take these, but there it is. About a 90-cent win. Just took some off at 86. We only have 30%, 25% left of our initial position. So we'll hit the register there and ring it. And then the next outs I have down at 10.50. And then a very, very hopeful 10.02 bid right now, but INO starting the day off right. PLL, Neil just talked about it, Brendan. I mean, if you want to sort of go YOLO on some kind of stocks, you can play those breakouts. Apparently being in a contract with a company called Tesla, may be a good thing. So there you go. PLL, good job on anybody that played. We knew lithium. Look, Elon Musk was tweeting weeks and months ago, his favorite Nirvana song was Lithium or something. So, I mean, there you go. And they're the winners, PLL, guys.
Coincidence? Possibly, I think not. It was interesting. I was reading in that story that that mine that the company is going to be using is actually in Arizona, so it's not even coming from over in Australia. It's coming from the U.S. Let's talk about the watch list, guys. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Good to have you. Sign up for the watch list. Valeria will help you out in the chat if you need the link. That's what we're doing right now, guys. We could throw my screen up. Here we go. Yeah, this is our Morning Movers watch list. We're talking about everything that is moving around in the pre-market here. You can see a nice little educational video at the bottom there if you need a little education content in the pre-market. But yeah, sign up for the watch list, guys. It's absolutely free. We'll send it to you every single morning before we come on at 9 o'clock. Let's get to XPeng here. We'll go back to EV space. XPeng, they announced plans for their first production facility over in China. They're going to spend about 580 million US, or the equivalent of 580 million US, through financing from the local government to build a production facility. We'll be good to go by 2022. I really like the look of that car, by the way. And it's going to have a capacity of 100,000 vehicles, apparently, guys. But some of these cars that these companies are putting out, or the images of these cars, I should say, are quite nice.
Maybe they'll push it down.
Like that one.
Oh, there you go, unplug it. Yeah, no, I was going to say that one. I mean, we saw the candy one. That one was, I thought it was more of a joke, but this XPEV one looking very, very nice. So, look, I mean, there's so many different companies here. They just IPO'd, and it was a bad one. They've fallen from grace as XPEV here. Not a great little start for that company, but you can see up here, 23, 24, got as high as 25, people holding the bag in the 20s now. You get up to 18, get down to 18, now back up. So this is going to be a good day for those bulls that are long on XPEV. And you're going to get a little bit of a reward today, up 5.86%, and could easily take out this top. I think there's bigger fish to fry and a little more volume. Obviously, 300,000 shares in XPEV, 1.2 million in NEO. So I like NEO better, but XPEV, a great little trade there. I think because it's a recent IPO, it can obviously move. So XPEV, I like you, man. Take your shot. I would, if you're looking at this name. 19.20 to the top, and then you have an easy out. It's 40 cents worth of room down to the bottom. I would just play this range, try to get the breakout, and hopefully you're on the right side.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd say is you go back to last week. I mean, that 1960 level post that break, 60 to 75 could be a little bit of resistance on XPeng here. So I'll be looking to see if this is one that I can possibly sell into on a bit of a pop. So I want to dip buy ideally in NEO. That's the plan if that one goes down. XPEV, if it goes up here, I'm probably going to take a shot at this one in front of that 1975 area. It's just as long as it doesn't blow right through. I'm not going to have this one at the open. 300,000 shares is just not enough to want to take a position at 9:30, guys.
I want to get to Arun here, guys. We're getting on in time. Sean, I know you wanted to mention Virgin Galactic. Do you want to talk about that real quick before we get to Arun?
Yeah, sure. Normally, I like to hit to the moon graphic here for Virgin Galactic, but we did have our guest trader of the day on last week and talked about starting October 1st. There's going to be some test flights going through, and that's great. I didn't even know about that, but the point about Virgin Galactic is obviously they're very excited space that they're in, and the thing is, if you're trying to get involved into going to the moon and space travel and things like that, there's not too many places you could put your money. So I think this is just a new idea coming through. We love the upgrade. The upgrade was from someone decent, I believe, Bank of America. So nice little upgrade there with a $24 price target. I mean, if we get to 24, then we're going to sell this thing off for sure. But it needs a little bit of room to get there. We're crossing the 60 period or the 50 period moving average on the daily chart. So yeah, thanks, Brendan. That's just what I wanted to get to. $19 looks like a great spot for this thing. That's not the right one. Superman's not the right one, but it's for this thing to go to the moon here. I think if space breaks that $19, which we are getting very close to that, it could go. One quick thing before Arun. I know he's waiting. There it is, 300,000 on the Brendan side here of the market today.
Along with Just Energy still growing. That's that little penny stock we were talking about last week there at the top. Yeah, let's have a look at the overall market, guys. Back in positive territory, as we mentioned here, Arun. Positive momentum, I guess, but we've come off a little bit here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, straight up is all we can really see on this market overnight. This is a problem when it comes to trading a market like this. It's a problem for me specifically. The only level I've got is 3280, which is way down there. It's 50 points away. I've got no read. At this point, it's just got to be a market discovery kind of thing. It's being patient and waiting and trying to figure out what to work with, because I've got one level that I want to work with. It's nowhere near that, and the market's just gone straight up. So at this point, all I'm going to be doing is waiting. If we can get down into that maybe 15 to 10 area, and we just start to set up a little bit, then I can start working long in front of that area using 80 as a stop. But in the 30s, I got nothing. I have no read I can make up here. It's just a matter of waiting. If this thing keeps going, I will be missing it. But for the time being, 80 is the only level I've got, and I'm looking for bids around 15 to 10. If we can get a nice setup there. A move like this also kind of opens the door for a quick fallout straight back down too, because there's no real levels to work with for the next 50 points, at least for me. So yeah, matter of just waiting around and see if we can get long in front of 3280 there, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, we've seen that in the past. We come in on a Monday, positive kind of sentiment, and then the market kind of comes off right from the word go. One little one to have a look at. There's a bunch of little tiny REITs, real estate related stocks. This is actually a reinsurer. Gapping to the upside on positive news this morning, but just watching this OXBR, still 51%. Watching $2 even here, that was kind of the level in the pre-market. We're down to 150. This thing barely trades normally, so a lot of volume in the pre-market here. This is $1 where we were on Friday, so kind of targeting $1 to the downside on OXBR, guys.
Well done. That's a good one. I actually have a similar short in that name, but I want to give you one more because as usual, we've seen this before on U1. It's up. There's no news whatsoever that that's going to be the case. I just saw it consolidating off of like a $7 area. It did bump up here one time in the pre-market to $7.50. I mentioned to you guys in the chat here that I like this one to the short side. Already have it on $7.13 short. I took some out at the bottom end of this range at like $7.90 for a couple of quick scalps, and then it did this little toilet bowl flush to the downside. I actually just covered some for what ends up being like a 70-cent win here, but I still have 25% of the position with about a minute left to go in the open. I'm going to let that one ride all the way back up to 720 so it can be break even. OXBR, I got 188 on the short side. I'm sure Brennan's got a better price than that, but that's like 30 cents in the money. We talked about a lot of these names here. I don't believe we got to a couple like Nikola, and we'll probably have to talk a little bit about Tortoise as well. But lots of things moving in the market. I didn't mention Virgin Galactic, but if it gives you a bit of a hold at that 18 area, I would watch that on a dip buy. You can see there was some consolidation down there before jumping to the upside. So Sean, I think you were looking at the breakout. I kind of like a Virgin Galactic as well if it can hold 18 off the open.
Yeah, a lot of stocks fading back in a little bit here. We have the NASDAQ going up, still that 2%. Let's check out the ES quickly. The only reason I'm not super excited about some of these breakouts is just because it's Monday. We got to watch the volume coming through, but I do like Uber through 36. I think that has a chance. And then NIO as well. We're talking breakout central on that. And we're also going to be watching Workhorse, and then you just mentioned Virgin Galactic, but right now INO 10 cents in the money. Neil, we're already down, man. 5 seconds left.
I trust me, I did hit it. It's every now and then it just takes a little bit for it to go on, so it's going to be a little bit delayed, guys. I'm watching Uber through 36, but we're already open here, so let's ring that bell, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's on that. Thank you very much, Valeria. There goes INO, $1.30, $1.40. Bang! Nice little win for INO right there to start the day. We took out the stick and hammered that one. But yeah, not too many shares. Just a big win. Nice little move downside. $1.32 to go on that one. Uber, so now we're waiting at $10. I don't know if that comes through or not. Big win. Uber fading out right now. We're going to put it back to a 1-minute chart. Nothing breaking for me yet. Just watching Uber, guys.
Yeah, there's a backflip for U1 off the open. Flushes to $6, so just got $1 win on those shares. Still hanging on to some to that south upside, guys. Got a 713 short. I can tell you OXBR continues to fall as well. That's 188. It's making a bottom here at 155. My target wasn't nearly as aggressive as Brendan's. I think at 140 or so it might run into some support. If that happens, I'll take the last of my shares out. But a couple of nice wins here for OXBR and U1 as well. Not a lot of movement in Uber. We talked about the volume there. Not exactly ridiculous, but NEO coming in for that little dip buy. It's only about 20 cents so far. The levels I was looking at were much deeper than that. Maybe like an 18 to 1840 was where I was going to see if it pulled back that far. I want to jump into the long side.
Yeah, Uber, CCL coming back downside as well. I wish there was something that I was looking at really short. Unfortunately, this morning we came in with everything to the long side there, but everything breaking down right now, including Uber. We have that up right now, the bottom of the day here, 35.55. I was looking long on this one, so we do not have any positions right now on Uber. And I don't think NIO hasn't even opened yet, guys. So no volume spike yet for NIO. That's NEO waiting. There it goes. Now it's just open right there. Looks like it opens up 1880. So let's watch out. Normally this thing will fade back in. That's why you don't hold INO, guys. Look at this, right to the top. Nice little out there. I can't believe it got out at 1050. What a great trade that was.
Yeah, great out. Halt alert here. PLL was open for, 30 seconds before halting to the upside, right at that 40 level. So this is why I didn't like this one right off the open. It needed to come in and hold that level. Forget about it. It's just halted at 40. This one goes crazy to the upside. 46 would be that top break. We've seen parabolic moves before. I don't want to be caught shorting in front of one. Brendan, what do you got?
A little bit of deal-making news to start your week, guys. Some M&A activity this morning. Mobile Iron. This is the... Oh, no, it is the right story. Mobile Iron, $872 million all-cash deal, 705. So if you're seeing MOBL to the upside, 5% here, 705 all-cash deal, guys.
And as usual, there goes U1 giving more than all of it back. Look, I'm going to take this trade up, but the reason why I'm covering at 580, it closed at 656. You look at where this stock has come from, it's like it had this level here at 550. If you go into the afternoon, I want to be out in front of it. It's a fantastic short opportunity. I just don't know how far it's going to fall, and I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. You're going to give me $1.50 on that trade. I'm going to take it all day, every day. OXBR is starting to come back up. I'm going to take another shot at that right in front of that $2 area, guys.
35.50. Here goes Uber to break to the downside. Also waiting for NIO to possibly break to the downside as well. Uber's very bottom here. Oh, man, I don't know. It's just these charts right now today look so sketchy because there's not too much volume. 35.55, the bottom of Uber right now. INO now comes crashing back down. They retest that 11-12 area. Would have been a great spot to re-up, but this is the only trade I have on right now. It's an INO short. I am looking, though, to make Uber, that was Uber right there. Looking to get an Uber short here through 35.50. If that does break, it should be a good one. Uber short through 35.50, guys.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, here comes OXBR. I always take profit on the way down, but this is what we talk about here. It comes back off the open. If it holds that 202 to 205 range, we're going to jump into some more shares on the way back in around the same price that we got before. But otherwise, let's see if this can't hold the top. Brendan, what do you got?
SPAC from last week. This SBE, we were mentioning a couple of days last week. This is the ChargePoint Energy SPAC, the EV charge station SPAC, or another one. Again today to the upside, 15%. Huge volume here at the open. All-time highs, guys, for SBE.
Okay, we're in now to NIO. So big time trade here. Hopefully we'll see if it can work for us. We are long, a nice little trade here, 1902. Hopefully we get some out. I was just sitting out there at 08. There it is, a nice little win to the upside right now. It goes NIO. So let's just keep cashing out some if we can. Another out here at 09s. NIO wanting this one to go up here. Need the market to go a little bit. Just breaks 18. 19. That was the trade we wanted. So let's hold this one, guys.
Yeah, I want to get you guys back to, I did reload an OXBR, 187, same price we got before. I'll work it out on the way down to 155, just like we did previously. I do want to go back to what was my best stock last week, was that JE. This is that penny stock, of course. It's getting once again crushed, and probably missed this one off the open, testing that 40 level in the U.S. I might end up trading it in Toronto, guys. So if you see me in JE and it's at like 46 to 50 cents, it's not because I got a great price, because I'm trading it in Toronto where we got the shares short. Brendan, what do you got?
Early strength in banks so far, guys. WFC leading 1.8% here. Had a big spike up to 24.20. I'll flip over real quick to JP Morgan. You can see breaking downside, still 1.3% to the upside. So the group itself showing some strength, guys.
And OXBR will line it up. We'll knock this one out. It's again going to give you another flush back, and just got some shares out at 165, so another 20-cent win. Reloaded at basically the same price we had in the pre-market. Now testing that bottom. 155 is a low. You will see me dip out of those shares in front of that bottom. Again, I'm not going to stare that gift horse in the mouth. I will get to JE in a second. I don't necessarily see an actionable trade, but NEO here, the dip, not into my target range, but it is taking the top off. If it can get back and hold 19, or 18.95 to 19 even, that could be a dip buy opportunity there. I've seen this happen before in NIO though, where it does one move to the upside, kind of shakes you out, and then comes right back. So I need to see it hold that 95 to even area. It's just that OXBR for me, and I'll probably trade a little bit of that mobile in and out. Looks like it's going to give you the spread all day long.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we crushed NIO long. That was a good one, but Uber, we tried to go short there. Unfortunately, it goes right down to 50 and then bounces back. So we covered half of that for basically for flat. Now we're holding on to the rest. I do like Uber to the long side though, so that's why we did cover some of that short. I still think we can come back down. So let's wait to see here, as now the market looks like it coming in. So hopefully Uber can turn out to be a win. Yeah, we're going to get out of NIO here if it cracks down below. Just a couple more pennies. We don't want to, again, turn winners into losers here. So long at 1902, out a bunch here, man. 15, 16s. Look at this. Out, 14s, 15s. So good outs there. But there it is. Comes crashing back to the downside. So Uber turns into the money right now for us, and NIO the other way. So just some back and forth drama there. NIO long and Uber short, guys.
Yeah, and PLL does open back up, holds the high of the day, and then just halted to the downside. It feels like it's going to be one of those sessions for this name, Piedmont there, with the Tesla deal, of course. That on our watch list, and it's going crazy. 38 was the last halt. Like I said, it is to the downside. So that 40 level that I liked before, if we can open lower than that, I might short off of 40, but probably not if it's all the way down at 33. If it can open right in this range, hold that 40 level, I'll short in front of it with a stop at that even dollar price. That's the name of the game, and that's the plan for me. I want to quickly get over to Nikola just because it absolutely got crushed here off 1950. If there's any kind of a pop back to the upside, I'm going to fade this one if I can. Nikola showing all kinds of weakness off the open, and I don't want to miss this party as the short sellers continue to crush this stock.
Yeah, poor Nikola keeps getting destroyed. And like I said, guys, before, I'm in that name, but not averaging in, that's for sure. I don't like Nikola to the long side right here. A few names moving around, but lots that we haven't talked about yet, including Apple, AAPL. Thank you for joining us all, guys, today. We do have coming up for you right away, breaking news. That's at 11:55. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one here, guys. Where was it? There it is, the Q&A coming up right after the show, 12:30. We're going to grab a piece of... I don't know, we're going to see what lunch is. We're going to grab that. We're going to come back at 12:30 and talk. Members only Q&A. That should be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it looks like 19 even is about as far as Nikola's gotten so far. I'm going to see if it can't move just a little bit higher. Would have liked to see it enter like a 25 to 50 range before rolling over. It doesn't feel like that's necessarily in the cards. It's making a bit of a bottom. JE starting to move up. I'm going to fade into that one, but I'll give you the chart in a second. But I'm trading it over in Toronto off the 50 level there. So just look at the corresponding prices, trading at 37. But right now we're getting Nikola to the upside, so I want to be fading into this on this pop. It's an 1875 turn. I want to see if I can pick it up in the 25 range. Just got to make sure we got those locates as well. Brendan, what do you got?
Space, guys, one from the watch list. If you're watching Space, did test day highs there. We did actually break by a penny, but it did set a new day high there. But right back down, big time volume spike as well at day highs as we broke that pre-market high, guys.
1885, yeah, good one. Yeah, I'm actually not even on that one right now. What we're doing is we're just watching Uber here, in, out, and then now we're very, very light. We're watching for 36 to break on that one. But I do like Virgin Galactic. Maybe that's the key right now, 1885. It's hit that a couple times. I don't know. It just looks so strange. Is this not open? Is this open? I don't think this is open yet, believe it or not, on Space. So I don't think they're open. Let's check the imbalance locator. Do I even see any end prints coming off? I do not right here. Where's Space? It's not on here, but I don't know. I don't see any NASDAQ prints coming off, and I see stacked books, and I see crossing. So I don't think Virgin Galactic's even open yet, guys. So we'll have to wait to see on that one. I don't see any end prints coming through on Virgin. So they're not open yet. We got to wait to see what they're going to do. But I don't know. This is strange why they're not open, but we'll wait. It's already 9:40. I don't see any end prints. Virgin Galactic not open. More to come on that one. Brendan, please, if you see anything, obviously, he'll come with that. INO is going to take out the top here, which is completely perfectly fine. Our last out's right here, 1140. So yeah, we're next to nothing right now on I&O. So that was a big one for us today. The only real big winner for us that we've had on board. We did have NIO. This was a great one as well. It does come crashing back down just a little bit. So we'll wait to see if it can keep going back upside. And then we'll wait for 36, I guess, to come here on Uber, guys.
Yeah, just checking in on that. Oh, there we go. Finally got these locates over here in Nikola. So going to jump into this one. It's starting to head towards that 1925 area. Got another reload in OXBR as well. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Just checking on that space. There are a lot of people online, guys, confirming that the actual print has not happened yet. So if you're watching space, just a heads up, the actual print on the NYSE has not yet happened. Not seeing any reason for that yet, though, guys.
And it's worth noting that is somewhat abnormal, guys, but we got our ear to the ground. Brendan's going to be all over this one. As I mentioned, consolidation was at 19. It tested up on Nikola here towards 1925. Didn't get there. As it came back down, if I want to fade in, this is where I could pick the shares up. So 1904, we've got to the south side. I also want to go back over to, you mentioned SBE as well, but that U1, it made a bit of a low. And again, this is not like exact science in terms of where to get out. I just simply looked at what happened on Friday in the afternoon, and you just have this 550 level. So I took everything out in front of it. Anytime you get a short that's going to give you that type of a move, you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. You take the profit and try to run away with it. If U1 does try to make a move back to the upside, I'm likely to fade it again. Nikola short working in the money, but OXBR is coming back, guys. We thought this could be a possibility in OXBR, that it would test that $2 area. Here it comes. I'm using 205 up here as my out, but I've reloaded back into this position. It's been a huge winner for me, but the last trade sometimes turns into a loser. So we'll go roller coaster ride at OXBR and accidentally got a few shares long. So let's punch right out of those. It was a good pre-market short. The second load worked well. The third time through, not a charm at OXBR. Watch out. If it takes the top off here at 220 or so, could get very, very spicy. Brendan, what do you got?
A couple of upgrades for the shippers this morning. The FedEx UPS type shippers, not oil shippers, but UPS did hit an all-time high up there right off the open. You can see above that daily wick there, but we're back to 170 for UPS. Very strong though, guys.
Okay, and space is now open, guys. So SPCE now open. It does come right up to that 19 and now come back down. So Brendan, it is now open. So everybody looking to get into that one, watch out as it comes back into 1850 now. Not a bad spot. I went from liking Uber long to now into the short, waiting for it to come up here to 36. It looks like that will probably snap right now, and we will lose on Uber, all because of this, all because we got in on this break at 934, able to get out for a loser there, averaged in right now upside as it's a big move to the upside here, but look at the futures. They're trying to go as well. This could be an out for us. $36 out on NIO. If that does come through, we will, or sorry, on Uber, we will be out. But our average price is 73, so no big deal. I talked about getting into some JP Morgan last week, a nice little bounce today. I'm not in at 91, so this bounce doesn't really matter, but the banks have been pretty weak. So if you don't believe this market rally, it's time to put on your fade cap and start fading some of these banks because they probably up a little too high. Apple now down to 113 again as well, guys.
Brennan, I think you got something. What's up?
Speaking of the banks, guys, Morgan Stanley upgrading Plug this morning. Plug Power, recent high flyer here, back to the upside. 11% already. A nice move up to 13. Morgan Stanley, guys, with the upgrade.
And like I said, that Nikola position just rolling over again under pressure. Just took a 30-cent win on a third of it. So come out of Brendan into a winning trade. We'll go yeehaw for you. I want to see if we can't flush just a little bit more than this. You are going to want to watch this on the daily chart. It got as low as 16 and change. That was last week's bottom, but there was some support right around this level that broke that 1870, and then from there all 17 as well. So those would be the targets to the downside of things. Get very, very crazy here in Nikola. I want to make sure I hang on in case it happens.
And finally, Uber comes back down. So we run that little gauntlet there. We shorted a beautiful short. And then now, as Neil says, I don't think we have the gift horse here, but I can't not take profits here on Uber. A little double negative there as we are getting faded right back down. So what a big win here on Uber for us today, right now, as anyways. We've just seen how violent it can get. So we have to make sure we take some profits out here on Uber. Virgin Galactic still making that move downside as well. So, but yes, what a good win here for Uber. So finally making a little bit of money here on this move all the way down. But let's cash some out though, guys.
And there was another sort of lithium name here, and it's Lithium America. This was just basically up on, sympathy realistically when it comes to the PLL as well. So if this one wants to fade off, it actually makes a little bit more sense to me. But I did miss that trade through 10 off the open. It's trying to get back up into that range 10 to 1040 where it hung out in the pre-market. If I get a chance to fade into that range, 1050 would be the top there, and I'll do short in front of it if I can. Breakout potential through that 1050. I'd watch out if you are holding. I wouldn't hold a short in front of that or past that price. So looking for a short in front. Still hanging on, like I said to Nicola. This just got about 50 pennies in the money. I'm looking for 18 even to the downside. If we can get $1 on this next third, be very pleased with that. Then we talked about 17 even being another target to the downside. So Nicola working well for us. I am going to jump back over to OXBR in just a little bit. But the other name, we did mention a little bit about Virgin Galactic. I have not taken a trade in space. I was looking for first shot, if we can actually load up here. There we go. I was looking for a dip into 18. Hasn't happened yet, but it also hasn't taken out 19 for potential breakout. So that's still in the cards. Let's see if we can get that break.
Yeah, and we're still we're just getting out right now of more Uber here, using this little VWAP as our out. So 35.70 or so to the downside right now will be our out. And then other than that, man, we'll just hold. I'm waiting here at 53, see if we can't cash out a little bit more. We do have size coming back down. So right now, yes, Uber. Crickets in the market early, I think, for some of these positions. But here we go. We are making a little bit of money back for you right now. And by back, I mean we don't have any losers right now. NIO's been a good one for me. However, we're still hovering around with some shares on this one, and we're just breaking back low. So well, there we go. We are now out of NIO as it takes out that bottom. So good to go so far, man. Virgin Galactic, just checking that out. Man, we should have gotten long there at that 1850 spot. We'll see if it can come back and test it one more time. I like an 18 break, or 19 break, but it may be overjuiced right now, depending on what the market's doing. You're up 13%. This is one of those ones where maybe you could fade it into that level, but Uber still making moves to the downside. We just got out 53. The ultimate low is 40. I don't have any bids until then, so let's see if we can't take that out. Yeah, your JE right now, Neil. I don't know if you're in this one, but it is tanking down to 36 cents right now. Is it tanking? Where did it open up, actually? No, it was as high as 44, in the pre-market. That's why now seems like it's moving, but still up that 3%. Watch out, guys. 30 million shares approaching.
Yeah, I'm going to be trading likely in Toronto. I've had a couple mixed success with that one. First short didn't work. I had a couple of good shorts in here at the top that just started to work back down. But if it gets in front of that 50 in the Toronto, I'll be taking a trade there again. Brendan's got something. What do you have, buddy?
Devon Energy, guys. If anyone's seeing Devon Energy, DBN flying around, there's a deal just announced this morning at 8:30. Devon buying WPX Energy for $2.5 billion. Looks like there is a stock portion. I'm going to double check on that, but there's Devon DBN still 4% to the upside. Flip over WPX coming back in 5.8 to the upside, but volume the key here. Big time volume on both, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to add a breakout potential to the list on INO. I did like a dip buy opportunity, and again, there was so much happening off the open. We had positions in OXBR, and obviously it was really good. U1 was a fantastic short as well, so missed this chance here in INO when it did test 10 even, like we kind of anticipated. The news didn't seem all bad. It's the device they're using to inject that was sort of the reason for the pause in their study. Big time gap down. If it breaks this 12, I think there's a gap fill to the upside, so we'll short things sometimes when they gap up. We'll look for a gap fill to the upside here in INO. Would have preferred in front of 10, but if it's 12 break, it's a 12 break, and we'll take it either way.
Wow, guys, yeah, where's my Uber car? Where is it? There it is. Hey, Uber, what's going on? Oh, yeah, okay. We just now get into some space, the final frontier. So let's get some out right away if we can. We took a decent position. Bang! Nice little win here on space. Upside just took some out at 07 there, off of a 19 long, or 08, sorry. Let's see how high this one wants to go. But this is the one we're really talking about. Uber! What's up, my friends? It's a chicken dinner winner for you to start the day here. Nice little 56-cent win on Uber. So it's getting fried up right now, and we'll see here to the downside. We did switch, man. We were talking long. We switched to short. We averaged in. We defended that 36 like a champ, and now we're getting paid off a little bit to the downside. We do have to watch out for space as it's taken off as well, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, I just got some out at 9, some at 6.15 there. When it comes to upside targets, we did go over this one a little bit in the pre-market, but I'm looking at, obviously, on long-term, 20 is the next level to the upside, so I'll be taking stuff off quarters, 50s, and then see how far we can get. probably the last little third. We'll see if we can hang on for a bigger move. Don't have any dip buy targets just yet because I was looking much, much deeper. But from one long into a short, Nikola just broke 1850 again. It's now headed down 70 pennies in the money. Next target was in front of 18 even. I gave you 17 as well. So Nikola under pressure. This wasn't on the watch list, but the entire EV space came in. The second I saw this flush through 1950, immediately alerted on the radar. Got the first consolidation short. Now we're riding this one to the downside. So let's go Superman action, shorting Nikola once again. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Sorrento, guys, not related to COVID, but they do have positive results this morning for an osteoarthritis treatment they're working on. So a phase 1B trial came back positive. But look at this thing, straight to the downside, through $10 there on a big volume spike, still up 2.7% though for Sorrento, guys.
Got to watch out if you're in any of those names, man. Those are going to be wild rides. But what is not a wild ride? And did I finally find it? We'll hit the arrow up right now, and I'll try to find the to the moon. We did give this one to you, man. So hopefully you guys were all over space. You know, we tweeted this one out. It's on our watch list and everything. So we go, yes, good idea here through 19. Our best outs looks like 17 or 18. So good on us for that one. We are going to give it back to 80s or 90s, probably this 80 level here on the backside. So watch out here as it comes back downside. Get some out. Space just made that move upside. You don't want to be caught holding the bag on this one, guys. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's the key, right? You don't want to let a winning trade turning into a loser. Always have a bit of an out. I have one in U1. It continues to slide to the downside. You know, there's always a possibility that it makes a bid. I'm not going to touch this one to the long side. It's going to be only shorts for me. If it pops, which doesn't seem likely right now, I would look to get back into U1 off that 7 level. 10 times out of 10. Brendan, what do you got?
More SPAC movement, guys. Shill. This is the Helion SPAC. They're voting today on the acquisition. So shareholders vote today on SHLL for that acquisition of Helion, guys.
All right, we're almost out of everything Uber there. We did get a little nervous breaking through space through 19, so we did take off a little bit more risk. Now we'll try to hold the rest and see how high this can fly. Hopefully to the moon. Can go space right now. Virgin Galactic will take that. I did want to welcome everybody. Thank you so much to everybody that's watching today. This is a big day for us, obviously. We're doing our very first live question and answer for members. So coming up, that'll be right here. Here's a little promo ad for that. Live with us. Look at the time, man, 12:30. They don't ever let us take a break around here, guys. So make sure that you're with us. We want to do it. So come back, 12:30, man. Grab a bite to eat, grab a quick coffee, come back, 12:30. We're going to be talking everything that you want to know. Sometimes we get a little carried away here in the show, and we can't see all the questions from members. So if you're a member, come through. Valeria will be posting that link, but should be an exciting one, Neil. I know you're looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I mean, there's so much that we don't get to. I mean, you know, even on our watch list, we don't get to everything. And I'm going to go quickly jump to AAL here. American Airlines, they were in play because they did secure a government loan, trading up on that news. Bit of a sell-off into like a 1250 area, and then holding that 1250 at the bottom here and some consolidation. 1270 was a price that we were watching in last week's action. So I think that's going to be a key one here. If we hold below, sorry, 1265 to 70. If it holds below, I guess we're filling the gap to the downside. And this market also seems to want to slide. So count me in for shorting off at 1270. Brendan, what do you got?
More on that Tortoise acquisition, guys. We were just talking about SHLL. It looks like the vote has already happened, and it looks like it has been approved. So the merger has been approved. Official results from the vote are going to be released at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So, but it looks like that deal has been approved if you're watching that SHLL, guys.
All right, so let's quickly have a look at it and see what it's doing. SHLL, yeah, there it is. Okay, let's go on the NASDAQ, I assume. No, it is New York. Okay. Oh, yeah, most of these SPACs, for some reason, are on New York there. I actually wonder why that is. It seems to be more often than not on New York.
That's a good question.
Okay, coming back to the downside right now. So we'll wait to see here what that does, but it looks like it's been approved. So I don't really know what that means exactly, other than the fact that it will get turned into the new symbol. We saw that with VTIQ and Nikola. So we've been down this road before. So just watch out if you're involved with Shill. It's right here at 1480. If it's already been approved, man, hey, there's that buy the rumor, sell the news. I see a lot of people saying that I keep screwing that up, and I did that on my journey as well. You guys can check out our trader journeys. Mine's on my Twitter page. I think Neil's is as well. Make sure you follow us all there on Stock Market Wisdom. We have a bunch of cool videos up there, including our journeys and including talk on SPACs. So Valeria will definitely drop that down. Mr. Softy, a quick check on you, as you are my favorite stock to trade. And today you are doing not much. You're just basically matching the NASDAQ here. So watch out for Microsoft breaking the bottoms here as the market looks to fade through even further here, guys.
And sorry, Nicola breaking 18. That's over $1 in the money now. But Brendan's got something for us.
In case anyone's wondering, guys, that SHLL is going to turn into HYLN because of this approval. So HYLN, Helion will replace that SHLL, guys.
I say this often. Sometimes the best trade you make is the one that you get out of. 3 shorts on OXBR off of this like $2 level first, and I said the next we'd give it to 205. 3 shorts we've had success on the first 2, big success on the first one. Still a good trade in the second one here, but the third we take out for like a 15-cent hit, and then this happens, guys. We talked about what might happen if it takes the top off. Here's the issue. It was a 240 break that would have liked to the upside, but it halts. Right before taking the pre-market high out, you do get a bit of a halt. That's why I wouldn't be in this one to the north side. I know some of you might be. If you are watching it, it's the second volatility halt up. The next level I had up on this name was at like 390. So if it goes another $1, that's where I'd be looking to see if it could turn itself around here. $3.90 on the daily chart was what I was looking at. This goes back over to the middle of June. So on the way up, another volatility halt here on OXBR should open up in a minute. $1 higher is where I'd look to at least think about the next little short. But it could be going parabolic, guys. So be very, very careful if you are short.
I also going to I'll hit it. I'm not in it yet, but I'm going to be in soon. It's going to be a new position alert. Plug Power up 12%, looking to take this number out here to the top side. So watch out, just in case, guys. Plug Power wants to go 13.05 there. They were upgraded. There's some news around them today, up 11 and a bit percent. We do like that one. Just checking back, man. Uber, we just took some. Come on, chart load. Uber, we just took some more out. This is our short, and it's a great one. Short Uber to the downside right now and out. What a great trade this has turned out to be. And by the way, Space does fade back down into that level, 1880. It didn't get back. I was sort of looking to see if we can get it near this VWAP, 1870, 1860. I do have bids there, but now we're breaking back to the upside. So Space, still have that one on, man. This is a 9-cent winner, so it's not huge. And then Uber right now is 25 cents in the money, but the market looking to make moves to the back to the upside. So that's why we're out of Uber right now. Very, very small position. Let's just watch and see how high up Space wants to go. The high of the day, 1920. So let's put an offer at about 1923. Take some out there and then hold the rest. I like to play in these quarters, guys.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about Tesla, a possible like dip into that 420, and then on the north side back up. Maybe taking it. It did miss that opportunity while trading in some other names here, of course, Virgin and Nikola to the south side. And I got into American Airlines as I'm shorting that pop. If we can get some sideways action off of 420, hold that on Tesla. That's where I would try to jump into it, having missed a bit of a break to the upside already. When we talk about Tortoise here, it's starting to, you talk about selling the news, obviously, it's starting to maybe flush off a little bit off this 50 level. You are seeing it fail to get back up through here. So if it rolls over again, I'd almost join this party. Still up 12%, but could be worth it off this 50. If you start to slide back down, maybe pick up some 49 50s, give it 50 pennies or so. This gives you all the way down to this next level, and it's like $1 worth of upside for like 50 cents risk without even breaking towards the current low. So still have the Nikola short on, still have the Space long, looking for this shill SHLL for a 49.50 entry with a 50 stop on that name, guys. So we'll get involved if we get that breakdown. The other one I want to go back to, of course, I just mentioned Tesla to you, a U1. Forming a bit of a bottom, no moss. I'm not touching this one long, even if it breaks back to the upside. I don't want any part of it. OXBR should be unhalting any second now. I'm going to be looking for a shot in that one. 390 is the price that I'm looking at. It is back to the upside, but I'm not going to step in front of this as it's going parabolic. I do want to see if it holds that level I found on the daily chart. That's the 390 area.
And guys, Plug Power gives us a bang. Nice little win there for Plug Power. Long right now, 13.05. Thanks to the viewers there. And Brendan talked a little bit about that near its day's high there. So up a little bit over 12% right now and trying to keep going, man. We're long at 07. So it's not a great trade yet. We've just been getting out 10s, 11s, 12s, and the high is 11.5. So getting out some good prices right now. Let's keep going. Okay, space. I told you we'd get out some there on the high side. High of the day, 22. That's exactly where we got out. We put our order at 22 and sniped that one. We do have a buyer here at 17, but look, there's an iceberg order here at 20. What does an iceberg order mean? Well, there it goes. It's gone. But what it was doing was you don't see, like right now, you only see about 1,000 shares. There we go. Attaboy, space. Attaboy. Let's make sure we get some out here if we can at 27. What we're talking about here is every single number on this side here, right side of the level 2, is by 100. Bang! A nice little win there. We're slaying that dragon. That is Virgin Galactic. We've been hitting that one upside for you today. We talked about why we like that. And then what an iceberg order was, again, I just keep saying the same thing over and over, is that when there's more shares here than what's visible, right? So you keep getting an order that keeps refreshing. I thought I saw one there at 1920. It broke and ripped to 30. But nice win. I know you have this one as well, Neil. But for right now, we'll scare everybody. We'll put some falling money on these things there. Not sure who that looks like, but I think it's me. Not you. That's for sure, Neil.
Yeah, thank you for the reload there, Valerio. I'll get to this in a second, OXBR. The turnaround, we kind of called it, but I did miss the short initially here. It is 10 o'clock, guys. I need to get to the big screen. Brendan for Happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, it's Monday, 30 minutes in the books. Let's have a look at how things are shaping up here in North American markets. Nicely higher right across the board. S&P 500, 1.2% to the upside. The Dow leading here, 1.3% so far for the Dow 30. Tech stocks, the NASDAQ, in positive territory, but outside of the norm. We typically, over the past couple of weeks, have seen the NASDAQ leading anytime the market is higher. So nice to see the Dow taking over here. The Russell, 1.6%. Here in Toronto, the TSX about a full percent. Down in Brazil, a full percent, 0.95 for the BOVESPA as well. Let's have a look at a few things from the watch list, guys, that we are still looking at as possible ideas here. XPEV, that other EV space participant, did get a nice flush off of the open all the way down to 1850, but just took back 19. This congestion here in the pre-market was all about $19. So let's see what happens if it gets rejected there. Might see lower prices on XPEV, still to come. We'll shift over to another one here, LAC. This is the other lithium player. Neil mentioned this at one point, but again, same sort of story, $10 here. Big number for LAC. Lithium America needs to get back above that $10 before it starts moving higher. And PLL, that Piedmont, this is the Tesla deal. Lithium player just broke that downside area. This was 250, we'll call it, was the downside area of this congestion in the pre-market. So moving to the downside for PLL, guys. Back over to you.
So, look, I'll hit it here and I'll go with, I don't know, line it up and knock them down. I feel like I didn't knock this one out, obviously. For those of you that are paying attention to the chat, you can see on the chart I have no executions on OXBR. It was 390 area that I wanted to see it roll over. It broke briefly, got to $4, and you're seeing it test down. The only thing I would caution here is the fact it couldn't get back through like $3. This is a previous halt on the way up here, that 290. I would be watching out for it. There could be a consolidation, giving another opportunity for a short. Holding 3 would be a little bit scary for me. We watched these, and if you miss a trade, you don't want to sit there chasing. I missed a short at 3. I tried to pick some up at 375, 380 on the way down. It would have been fantastic, but that's come and gone, guys. If you missed that trade, you don't want to force another one. Virgin's starting to pull back here. As all of this was happening, I actually did get some more shares out. I said in front of it would be in front of 950, but it started to turn at 35. I just saw a bit of an order there, so I took a few more shares off. I still have some Nikola short, but that's also bouncing back. I can tell you that AAL, you can't win on every single trade, so we'll go with spicy action at least.
Mamma mia!
But AAL, I did take the short in front of that 1270. It just broke upside, so if it's going to be positive news and it wants to break out the lower consolidation, 1950 held. I've reversed to the long. I'll see if I can't get this to work through the high of the day. Market holding steady, at least for now, and I find myself in an American Airlines long. This from our watch list, of course. We don't get to everything. But if you do have the watch list, you see what's actionable, what is actually moving in the day, so that you're trading what actually gives you some potential. Brendan, What do you got, bud?
I just saw the CLDX. Big move here, 20%, guys, 20+% for CLDX. Nice technical break as well. Going to look into that one. Here's the SPWR. If you are watching along on SPWR SunPower, little solar company, they received a couple of big contracts this morning, so up 10% on that, guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm probably not included there. Sorry about that, Brad. I had no idea Neil was throwing to you. You guys test my unit if you can, even though we already did. Plug power. That's what we're doing, guys. And that's where the money keeps coming in from. We hammered that one long at 1306, 1307, I believe. It was just working 2 seconds ago, Lucas. Maybe it's not anymore. There we go, up to 25. So plug power. Kaboom! Big time win right there for you guys as well. And then Neil just talked about Virgin, but here we go, making moves to the upside again. We're long here. Out. The high of the day, 35. So we'll wait to see if that's coming in as well. But we are at the highest spot for us all day. So that's been a good one. Uber, man, that one breaks through $36. What a great out we had off this 87. Bang, 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 bang. Unfortunately, my order, and again, we're doing too many things. You'll see us talk about this. Maybe this will come up at our question when we have our Q&A today at 12:30. But, when I get out of this short there, it cancels my stop orders to go long to the upside. But we did give you that one. We tweeted that out early. Like we keep saying, it was on our watch list. We talked about Uber. I gave the 36 level. I even marked it off. I don't know where the mark went, but $36 long. That was the high of the day. It breaks it, and Bob's your uncle the rest of the way. Space now, Neil, I almost got back to day's high, but faded out there. It's plug right now that's at day's high, and we got this long, so hopefully you guys are all there. Chris, we'll get to you in a minute after I read this, but I did. Oh, you're welcome, Jerry. Got into plug at 13. Let's go. I posted that up as well. We'll get to this after Neil take it. I'll find out what AMBO is going on here.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one in a quick second. I do want to get you guys back to JE. I've mixed success with this one. I'm a little frustrated because it should have been a monster short, but I have nothing through that 46 break. It's going to hold here. And again, I'm going to quote you prices in Toronto. You can be trading in New York as well, but just make sure you do the currency conversion. I'm working off this 46 level in Toronto. If it bounces back, I will probably jump into some to the south side just to get you back over to, space, into Nikola. It is bouncing up here at least a little bit. It did make that flush. I thought we'd get down around 17. I took 2 legs out, 70s, then in front of 18 even. I'm still holding a third. Break even stop for me through 1904 is my short price. Nikola under pressure. Once again, it feels like that's always going to be the case. You talked about that symbol that was halted. I'm gonna check that one out because I actually do think it's actually on the Amex. So I put it on my quote board for NASDAQ, assuming that was going to be the case. But I think Brendan might have the news on that one.
Yeah, they're teaming up with Amazon. It looks like I was just trying to pull that out. Oh, it's on the Amex, you just said. AMBO Education, here we go. Partnership with Amazon in digital professional education training and certification. So that is 902. That one came out, guys.
Okay, so good one. Thank you, Chris, for that. If you want to know ours, it's AMBO over here on NYSE. There you go, American, on NYSE American, so we'll check that out for you quickly. Daily chart, obviously, great news coming on that. Anytime you can partner with Amazon, you'll probably get screwed on the margin, but you should get a lot more business. So 480 to the upside here. We always look at past levels. It looks like it's already been up here once, 480. If that's a miss, if that's not correct, then I apologize, but 480, we've been there, 320s, the back end. That's kind of where we started off today, so let's wait to see here. 2.79 million shares, Chris. Once it comes open, let us know on the chat, and we'll come back and look at it. Obviously, we don't have a position right now, so I think it can get up to $5. That's where it looks like it just ran to there. I don't know why all these deep prints are coming off here at 277, but this is what a halted state looks like for us.
Yeah, I'm just going to update you guys quickly on my space trade, Virgin Galactic, actually. I'm now looking at this 1890 area to go with a stop here, just to let it trail back in. I'll give it about 15 pennies or so, allow it to break through 19 even, see if it gets a secondary push to the upside. So still bullish on this name. Just to clarify something, someone in the chat was asking, why do I like Nikola? I've actually only been short this morning on Nikola, and it wasn't even something that was on the watch. A lot of names in the EV space were, but it broke this level 1950 and got absolutely crushed down to 19. So I just looked to play that momentum. You've seen what happens on this name the last few days, but keep in mind, sometimes it gets squeezed to the upside, especially past 10 to 11 o'clock. You might see that happen. I'm hanging on to my short with a break-even stop, so if it goes above like 19.10 or so, I will be out of Nikola looking for another trade. But it's already a one and done, and it's been a good one so far. But it was a short, not a long, guys.
12, yeah, good to clarify that. And again, you guys have to remember something. Neil and I, obviously, we trade with different time frames than a lot of you viewers out there as well. Neil and I use different shares than you guys, so you really got to just sort of base what we're talking about as more scalp trades, right? We do not hold overnight or anything like that. So I think that's very, very important for you to understand. We're in and we're out, and hopefully we're doing some of these like we just finished doing on Plug Power. And this is the whole point right here, guys. As Plug Power makes moves to the upside and it blows up, you saw me get excited there, we take the profits out. I mean, whether or not Plug goes to $14 tomorrow, $15, $10, whatever, we're out of that trade. So just on that topic, I right now have 10% left of my Plug Power. I haven't taken anything out for a loser. So this will be the first spot, and it's simply going to be a break right now. I think I just put it in there of 13. So you're going to break that back down through 13. This is how we trade. I told you I get out at the quarters. So, I mean, this is just as a ratio thing. You could put on a hell of a lot of shares if you trade with this kind of a risk, right? And so that's the thing. A lot of us Neil will put on a bigger position and maybe scalp out faster. Same with me. If we're holding for a little bit longer, it's probably because we have a little bit less risk on and we're hoping for a bigger move. Not to talk for both of us, but that's just, we trade differently than the majority of our viewers.
No, you've dead on. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. You have to trade every trade a little bit differently. Going to throw to Brennan in just 2 seconds here, but OXBR halted upside. I actually got triggered in when 4 broke, and it was right about to halt. I did not want to hold long into the halt, so I immediately got out in that 15 seconds before it happened. Should open up in about a minute or two, but Brendan is at the big screen. He's got some upgrades and downgrades. I'm pretty sure OXBR was not upgraded.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get you some more symbols to have a look at. A couple of these we've talked about already, but I'll show you a few once we get the TV to move. There we go. Thank you, guys. Carnival. Yeah, we were talking about some of the travel names, airlines and cruise lines moving to the upside today. Carnival catching an upgrade. FedEx, I mentioned UPS, all-time highs. FedEx also having a nice day. Snapchat, Pins, and Spotify all upgraded today. Snapchat having a nice day, 3.8%. Not much to look at on the downside. That is zero power. It hasn't really done enough volume to care about. PBF Energy, very, very strong, even with downgrade across that entire group this morning as well. Snapchat, though, yeah, nice gap to the upside. A couple of upgrades on this one. 25.50 ended up being a bit of a pivot there. We're above that, trying to push new highs right now for Snapchat. You can have a look at Pins as well. Also decently strong. Expedia, one that was downgraded. Big flush off the open, but we're right back to day highs for Expedia. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Brennan. I just want to jump to one name. I haven't traded it today. Vaxart. Usually, Vaxart is a name that I'd be involved in, and what a great setup it was for a bit of a flush here. It's worth noting now because look, you don't want to harp on trades that were missed. I just want to go back to some prices from last week. Watch out for this sort of 675 area, right to where we are right now. That's $7.25 worth of chop. There was a ramp off this level in the afternoon Thursday and then some follow through on Friday. If it breaks that 75, this could come all the way back to last week's low of 620. So hang on, or watch out, if you are long in Vaxart through 675, that could be a bit of a break down price. I might be shorting that through that price as long as we get shares at a reasonable price. Sometimes we have to pay for locates in VXRT. If they're a reasonable price, I'll go ahead and short 675. Just Nikola short Virgin long, and American Airlines just got into long, but that one is basically flat right now, going sideways on AAL. The market's trying to head back up, so I'll see if I can get that to run to $13. That's the current high.
Okay, here we will just wait to see what's happening. Okay, looking forward here. Space, we did get out. We talked about why. And again, how could Space be one of my top stocks when it looks like this? I just explained to you how and why. What up to Tara Patrick coming through as well. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. I think we might have missed a few other members. Thank you, Chris, for that AMBO as well. And then here it is. No, that's Chris as well. We did have a few new members, but thank you so much for that. And today, of course, we do have coming up at 12:30. And we hate to keep talking about it. I don't have it. If you guys could find it, I just went by it. But coming up at 12:30, we do have. No one's. Yeah, you hit it. You're going to go on your page, Neil. Go ahead.
There we go. Coming up at 12:30, guys, it's our first ever live Q&A, so you can ask us pretty much anything you want. It's going to be, we'll finish the show, we'll grab some lunch, maybe a quick coffee, and we'll be right back here, right at it. All three of us, Valeria will be here as well, so throw those questions in. This is a way for us to give back to our members. We love the support that you've given us, so we wanted to do something for you, and that's going to be today at 12:30. So I really do hope you guys stop by and enjoy yourself. Hopefully I'll be enjoying myself on a secondary push inversion galactic, but yeah, it is consolidating lower. I did give it to this 1890 area. So far that's held, but if it goes through, it's already been a bit of a scalp long, and then I try to hold some for a bit more. This is just the last, less than it's like 10% of the position left, guys. So it's either home run through 1950, gets you to 12, or I'll give it to that 1890 area. Thank you, Matt Murray. Don't know how to become a member. Valeria will be all over that. I think she'll help you out with that, so you can join in there. Thank you so much for the super chat. We hope to see you there, Matt. That and an AAL long, which is still going nowhere. I want to get to PLL because it's starting to sell off once again. I'm going to look for a bottom break on this. I would have much preferred to get the short off 40, as I mentioned. Gave you almost no chance. That's a $4 candle in the first minute that I missed out on. Brendan, what do you got?
We've been talking about some of these little teeny tiny companies this morning. There's U1. There's also this one, guys, CARV, that also popped up way back when, the first time that U1 went crazy. So have a look at CARV doing higher relative volume. And also the one that we were talking about just before, OXBR was the other one. All from the same group, guys. So OXBR, CARV, and U1. There's no significant news on any of these, it looks like, but higher relative volume, guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Brendan, the last time these all moved, one of the themes was it was literally like buy black-oriented businesses. So Carver, I think it was part of that play. The reality for each of those, when they did move up the last time, was they all got sold off. Let's be quite frank about it. Sean and I were trading U1. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen because U1 had parabolic moves for 2 days in a row, and then when it sold off, its D-class shares went parabolic to the upside. I've never seen such an obvious dislocation and an easy short trade than I saw that day on U1K. So do watch out. Of course, it's come almost all the way back. It got to like $50, came back in. I'm not touching this thing to the long side today. You won't see me in a long unless it's purely accidental. In U1, it is making a bit of a bounce, and you might look to yourself saying, oh my goodness, it's down 11%. Look where it came from. I can pick it up at 520 or 550. Nope. No moss for me. If it gets to 7, I'll probably look to short in front of that level. I won't be a part of any breakout in the stock today.
Okay, here we go. Yes, thank you, Matt Murphy, and thank you, SH, and everybody that helped there to become. I just put boom in the chat there. Thank you for becoming a member. Oh, and thank you for a bunch of people here. There's Matt Murphy there, or Tara Patrick, already gone over that. Matt Murphy, and then welcome Genzi Machado. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you join us at 12:30, and the link will be there as well. Okay, Workhorse. We're going to fall in a hole there. We'll go pop a wheelie because, but we fell over on Uber. We tried a little bit of a short, and then we went long eventually, breaking through 50. This call was long through 36. I hope you guys still have that. We didn't give back barely anything. We tried to short through 50. We got some out at 33 there for 17-cent win. The loser was a break to the downside there. Workhorse, new position alert, guys. New position alert. Workhorse right now hitting the bullseye. We'll see if it can go upside. We are long just right now, right here. What's up, B?
Another one having a good day here, guys. Boeing, 5.5% for Boeing. We talked about it briefly in the pre-market. 165. Couple of upgrades on this. Analysts basically pointing to the positivity or potential positivity of the 737 MAX getting back into the air. So nice move for Boeing today.
Okay, here goes Workhorse. Sorry, Neil, we're getting ramped up right now on Workhorse. $25.80, we're approaching that $26. We did go long there, breaking through this little level. We liked Workhorse again, was on the watch list there, but now we start to trade it. Getting some out here, obviously ahead of 90 of O's. There it is, bang, buy O's, bye-bye, boom, 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 going to the upside. Nice little trade here as, I don't know, we'll just go long on some of these names right now. Long on Plug and long on Workhorse. Let's get this EV space moving, guys. Bang! A nice little 20-cent win in 2 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, and speaking of nice little wins, not out of it yet, but I talked about SHLL, just a bit of a sell the news off of that 50 level. It does bounce off of that price. It comes back below 49.50. I'm able to get in a couple of times here. Average price, basically 49.50 as intended. I'll take some out in front of 49. I'll work it all the way down to this higher low at 48.60. Ideally, you'll get a break here and get over $1 winner. I feel like that would be almost wishful thinking, but the momentum looks like it's a little bit out of SHLL, and we can work this one to the downside. So far, a nice little win here. Virgin is back to the upside, so it holds at 1890. Still have that long at 19, guys, that we're working all the way up here. Hopefully get a 1950 break. PLL, that's the other name that's heavily traded this morning, 8.5 million shares. It's already had a couple of halts, but it's starting to level off. Now, this is the Tesla deal. Obviously, that's a great catalyst. It was a good fade trade. I like it below $40, but right now you're having to take it. If you short it off of a 35 or a 33 level, I'll take a little piece here on the sideways action. But the big short, as I mentioned, I missed that big short right here on the downward halt. I always look for these to halt to the downside. When that happens, I want to jump into that party, guys. So I'll short it off 33. Right here, you can give it about $1. I think you can get down to that 30 range. If that breaks, 28 is the low of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, this has just been a fantastic little day here. We'll put the money and just spin it, man, because right now, Workhorse, beautiful out there, man. 18, 19s, 20s. This is a 32-cent design, as I read something about Nicola right there, buying their designs. Oh. Wow, Trevor Milton. I mean, the saga continues there. Neil's on top of that one, but watch Workhorse. We're almost out. That's why I want to give that to you, guys. We're into 25% left right now. Best out there at 20. Watch out here as this just came back in. Not really sure why. Plug Power still making moves back to the upside here, as we talked about 13 possibly holding. That was going to be our out spot. It was actually down here more, but there it comes back to the upside. Let's make sure we take some of that up. But right now, 10-cent win on Plug, which is decent for a $13 stock, but much more decent was this beautiful 40-cent win on Workhorse, taking here long at 84, all the way up to 20s. So let's call that 16 cents, 26 cents top to bottom, 36 cents top to bottom, and then now we'll get out of the majority of that on the way up. So we're changing up the game a little bit. We're going into scout mode right now. Earnings season kicks off on Thursday with our boy PepsiCo. So there'll be a little wild ride near the end of the week here for us. But let's take out some more Workhorse as it's bouncing back upside. And Plug, look, everything's making the money. We're at our highest spot today. Let's just keep going. Let's get some more names here with our small cap recap with Mr. Brennan Wiggins.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll recap a few of the small caps that we were talking about early on this morning. I want to mention this one right off the bat. U1, probably the easiest structured trade this morning. Very obvious level in the pre-market, formed around 720, 725. Just could not get above that 20 area, 25. Kept seeing sellers show up there. So pretty easy level to get in front of, and then the flush off of the open down to 5. So average price around $7 there. Give you a pretty good out down at 550, even 525. So a nice move back to the downside for U1. Again, we mentioned no real catalyst that we could see as to why those things were up in the pre-market. INO just creeping now into mid-cap territory. It's actually just above 2 billion on the market cap, but we'll talk about it. Nice break to the downside here, 1150 down to, these are prior levels that I had way back when, just left over on the chart here, 1075, and then 1025 was a prior level going back a couple months ago. We were trading this as well. Down at these levels, so 1075 and then 1025, so out around that 1075 on the break to the downside. Nice move down for INO this morning after that halt. This thing's nuts, yeah, 534% for OXBR. This is actually a winning trade on the short side if you caught that initial move to the downside this morning, but looks nuts now, all the way up to $7. But still watching OXBR. Let's go back over to Sean.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, Virgin Galactic. I mean, yeah, we'll do some backflips for all you guys. Everything that we've given to you guys today. You know, most of these names on the watch list, we talked about that. But at 9 o'clock, man, I mean, what did we talk about? I told you about Space breaking 19. We had that, so boom on that one. We talked about Uber breaking 36. We didn't have that. We took the short, we averaged in, and then killed that one before 36 eventually breaking and giving you guys absolutely everything you want. INO, I mean, does it get any better than $1.50, $1 win right even before the market opens? Probably not. And then Plug Power, booming it back to the upside right now. A good little spot to get out now on Plug as it goes right up to 1320. And yeah, someone said, I think it was Mr. Wheelie Man last week, said, you know what, you gotta have a timer because yeah, I completely forgot about Hydration Nation. So as it's getting hot in here again, I gotta go fix the, it's 25 degrees Celsius right now as we approach, as it is September 28th. That is super warm. Yeah, Brendan's going to.
I
not
thought it
only
was
is
the
Brendan
lights,
giving
man.
the news, but he also works in the HVAC business. So thank you so much, Brendan. That's a joke. Thank you so much, Brendan, for adjusting the thermostat, my friend.
Yeah, my HVAC guy's actually pretty great. Played a little ball with him. But a couple of positions to update you on. Took a quick little break here. PLL in front of, and I said 33, and I showed you 33.50 on the chart, so I'll correct that for you. 33.50 is that little top. If it rolls, I'll take some out in front of 31. It looks like it is headed back to the downside. I got 32.46 is an average price here, so about $1.50 first target on that. INO finally breaks that 12, so there you go. It just took that 12 even area. I actually missed it on the way up. It came back down, gave me an entry point. I'm going to give this to like 1160 or so and then see if it can't ramp back up. You just talk about how big of a gap this is to that little upside. I'm not saying it's going to fill in the gap. That's a little ridiculous. Even last week's bottom at 1450, that seems like a pie in the sky target there, guys, but we'll get to that one in just a quick little second there. I'll take my Unity off because my earpiece died, guys. We'll have to throw to Brennan, but Brennan, what do you got?
Just a huge volume spike on Gap. Oh hum, another day, another 5% for GPS to the upside. We talked about this one a couple times back on Friday. There was some Kanye-related news. Wasn't going to do anything unless he gets a board seat. Big volume spike, you can see, just came in as we took out 1710 there. Day highs, guys, for GPS.
Yeah, because Kanye on a board is something that everybody wants. Okay, Uber right now, and that was a joke. I don't think people on Gap would want that, but I guess what Kanye's been doing to Adidas has been fantastic. So watch out for some GPS there, and I'm not talking about the positioning system. We'll watch Gap soon. Okay, 36.40. Looks like we were probably right in shorting Uber upside right now, so I'd like to see it get back into the 50s and see if we can't put on a spot at that point. But right now, Uber coming back down a little bit as it's only 10:30. Lots of market still to come here. We should have probably shorted Uber, and well, we did short it, but we should have probably held on to it. It gets as high as 36.60. As I look for more longer term, Uber's busting out a little bit here off of this 50-period moving average. We did talk about that last week, how it came off, touched it, and now you still have some upside break to come, but that has to be 38.50, 38 and change. So right now, Uber's kind of stuck in no man's land right here. I do like the short, but it needs to get back up to 50 before we do anything about that. Good little out on plug. We got the majority of them out again there at 20. Now we're just holding 5%. We got out of half of what we had left. Now we hold the other half for a 13 break. We'll see about plug. There goes space. Good trade.
Yeah, space through 1950. That's now 60 pennies in the money. INO that long through 12 even. I just took some out at 40s. Going to work this one out from this 12 even break all the way. I mean, pie in the sky, like I said, 1450. But I'll have legs all the way up to with an 1160 stop. That's working deep for us. I can tell you the rollover is on in PLL. We just took some out in front of that 31 level, 31.26. So $1.20 winner on the first leg here. If it flushes at 31. Next stop, 30 and 28, the current bottom. So this short is on. I think we got a good one here running to the downside. From one short to another, I did also talk about the rollover in Tortoise SHLL. 49.48 we got as an average price. Took some out in front of 49 for a 45-cent win. Just got some out for a 70-cent winner in front of this level here, 48.60. If it breaks this, and again, I probably don't think it's going to be a home run all the way down to 47. But if it does break this, I'll use that momentum to get out wherever it happens to turn in front of 47. But a great short on SHLL. Looks like PLL might be even better than that. The only thing not moving for me is American Airlines. I guess it's no guarantee if it's on the watch list. The entire space is on the watch list. The market is absolutely booming to the upside here, Sean. American Airlines is in the money for me. 8 cents. 8 cents
That's
on
not
that.
bad. I mean,
The market's,
again, there's lots
you
of
see the
news
ES right now? Come on, son.
Remember, there's lots of news there. Obviously, they got the loan, and they talked about some of that as well. Okay, we are ready for Valeria. Let's give it to her at the big screen.
Hey guys, today at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Neil, Sean, and Brandon will be answering on members' questions. So guys, in order to participate, you can join our membership at the link I'm sending on the chat. Also, you can find join button on our homepage. Well, tune in at 12:30 at the link I'll be sending on the chat. And please smash the like button. Back to traders.
All right, well, that's how you join. So good job there. Thank you so much, Valeria, for that. Anybody wondering how you join and become part of that interesting Q&A we're going to have today, that's how. And thank you to everybody becoming members today as well, and everyone that's been there for sure. Yeah, exactly. I think 8 cents is decent on that trade. Okay, there's another member. Thank you so much for Bollinger Bandit. I wonder what technicals you're using there, but what's up to Bob Bollinger and the infamous John Bollinger? Okay, 26.10, making moves to the upside here. I'm still holding on to the workhorse. We are long 25.84. Ding, 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 all the way to the upside. The reason why I don't hold on for too long, as I said, we had not too many shares. We had a great amount of shares. We obviously didn't have enough, or we'd still be hella long. But we're going to wait to see on the last 10% and see if we can't grow this account a little bit more here. Up to 26.30 is my next target for you, Mr. Workhorse. And what's up, Mr. Wiggins?
AMBO, guys, we talked about this one earlier. The AMBO education with the Amazon deal just reopened here, straight back to highs. So we're right back to where we were in the pre-market, which is also 52-week highs. So AMBO, if you missed it, teaming up with Amazon. So 191%. Halted again, but straight back to the upside, guys.
Good. Thanks to Chris for the super chats.
Speaking of halts, guys, look, you're going to see that 4 even area, 390 to 4 even, what we call the first pullback on OXBR. Like I said, I accidentally got long when it halted up the last time. I did not want to hold through the halt. Would it have worked? Yes. Does that matter? No. You don't want to do something against your rules. It's now just halted again. It's starting to go parabolic here. I really don't have anything obvious that I can look at for levels. So it's simply a matter of this one halting, opening lower off one of those and halting to the downside. So I'm not touching OXBR until there is a downward halt. Once that happens again, to me that means the squeeze is over. Well, the squeeze might be over, I should say, not for sure, but it needs to be a downward halt. Starting to get out of hand here, 650% to the upside, and still going on OXBR, guys.
And that's the thing. When you get caught in some of those moves, you got to watch out and make sure that you're not caught in too many crazy halts or anything like that. So good move there on that name. Workhorse still going. We got Brendan again. What's up, B?
Genius Brands, guys. Genius Brands as well will have a little bit of a volume spike here to the downside. I just noticed this thing was back below 120. 120 was that level I think we were looking at back on Friday when this thing popped up. But what a move back to the downside. This thing was like $10 way back when we were trading it, guys. Genius Brands doing some volume.
And I'm not going to split hairs with this one here. I'm going to take off Virgin Galactic right here at 19.75 or so. Like it just, I had $20 as a target anyways on this. I do see it start to slow just a teeny little bit. For me, that's going to be good enough. I want an opportunity here if it is going to roll over to be clear-headed about a short opportunity at 20. So we're going to go, I don't know, slay the dragon, whatever you want to call it, on Virgin Galactic. I probably should have hit to the moon. That actually would have made sense. But dragons were in my head for reasons which are ridiculous because last night I had to read The Paper Bag Princess to my daughter, and there was a dragon in that one. That's why it's in my head. But PLL here, I did take another leg out in front of 31. Still have half the position, and the two targets for that are 30 and 28. That's what we're going to do with this short. Still have a 33.40 stop. Tortoise, only 60 cents in the money, was over $1 before. Looks like it might be catching just a little bit of a bid. I believe we have, is it Brendan? Brendan, more news.
Let's go back to penny stock land. We mentioned a couple of these back on Friday. CTRM, Castor Maritime, and then there's also that ship as well, SHIP. Some of the oil shippers coming back to life here a little bit this morning. You can see nice little volume spike on CTRM, up 8% today. Valeria is watching what is moving around over in Europe this morning. What's up, V?
Yes, Brendan, Diageo is up more than 5% after saying it had made a strong start to its fiscal year 2021. Back to you.
Yeah, about an hour left over in the session in Europe. We'll update at 11 o'clock, guys.
Diageo there, maker of fine alcohol and spirits. So good on you, Diageo. Constellation Brands coming up, I believe, tomorrow here. STZ. So we'll watch that. We'll watch the beleaguered Canopy investment that they have as well going down the drain. Yeah, we just to give you space early. That's been a big win for you guys. Obviously, we only had one in there at 19. So I hope you still have that. And again, just because we don't doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Depends on your time frame and how you're trading. Watch out here, man. Space going to to the upside. And like we say, cheesy now, but to the moon, going SPCE, obviously. That just keeps going. We did bring that to you early. Look at AMD coming back from the dead as well. We've been really short side bias on AMD for a while, but now it's making moves to the top. You see 79. I want to say welcome to new member Howell, Warren Howell. Thank you so much for coming up. Oh, and another one, Lee IV. What's up? This is going to be a good show for us for sure today. Glad that everyone's joining up with us right now today, as well as we keep 6,000 generally pretty consistent there, 6,000 viewers. So thank you so much for everything there. And there it is, guys. Space. I see everybody on the chat. Everybody loving that. So good looks there. Okay, we'll see here upside AMD, Apple, and space.
Sean, there is a down halt in OXBR. Finally, it looks like it turned around. It opened back up, got as high as 962. We just halted down at 690. So, first thing I always look for is what's the next level up. There's nothing really we can go off of except for the previous halt price at 8. If it's going to open below there, I'll short off of that one. Again, I always look for the first sign of the buying to be done, the squeeze to slow down a little bit. I think we've just gotten it here. I'll take a short if we can get it holding 8 even to the downside, but I won't chase it. If I can't get it at a price better than like 650 to 670, then I don't want it onto the south side. That's giving entirely too much room off of that 8 level. I will update you on a few positions here. One of them, INO. Thank you, David Bishop, for jumping in here. New members. I guess you guys are excited for this Q&A. We are as well. 1250 just got taken out in INO, so I have taken some out on the way up on a 12 break. The next level 13, and then from there 14 even. 1450 was the bottom of the gap. If you want to look at the higher time frame, we probably should again. 1450 was the bottom on Thursday. It was also the bottom on the 17th. That would be the ideal price for the last quarter. If it gets 13, I'll be perfectly happy with that as well. If we test 13 even, I'll then move my trail, my stop from 1160 to break even at 12. But nice long here in INO, filling the gap to the upside. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Speaking of HVAC systems, Carrier Global here, 3% to the upside, 52-week highs above that little wick there on the daily chart. So CARR in New York up about 3%. You can see the volume up here at these recent highs as well coming back in. So a nice move for them today, guys.
All right, Workhorse right here doing the same thing, just making moves to the upside as we get out of a last little bit there. And now we hold to see how high Workhorse wants to go. It does make new highs there intraday, up to 26.30. We got out at 15 there on the pop. Now we'll hold a little bit. Obviously, was expecting it to break higher. Space, there it is. I guess that's 1,000. Space comes up to 20 there and then hits back. So I think this is a decent spot to maybe think about getting long for that run back to 20, guys. So let's do that. Take a little tester here long on Space.
Yeah, we'll just get some more shares out on PLL. I did the arrows down, but I'll go slap shot as well for you. It just touched that 30 even area, so that's a $2.50 winner, 30.22. Next leg down is going to be this 28.60. That's actual low of the day. Ignore some of these previous prices. It went parabolic. You can see as of last week. I'm not saying it's going to come back anywhere near any of these levels in the daily chart, but I am going to move my stop down now that it's now broken through 30. My stop is going to go to 32 from 33.60. From that short in PLL to a short in SHLL, and yeah, this is what's happened in SHLL. We've broken both 48. And again, I thought 47 would be a target. It happened so fast. All I will do now is trail this one to the previous bottom at 47. This can do no worse than a $2 win. I'm short 49.50 on SHLL. Selling the news seems like the flavor of the day. Right now, $3 in the money on this SHLL short. We'll go back, of course, to OXBR in just a little bit. That one hopefully giving us some entry points, but the shorts are already in here. Monster winner now. It's like a $4 winner on SHLL. Going to continue to trail this one down. 46.50 will be the next trail.
Yeah, great one there. We did talk about why you want to sell that SHLL there today. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It becomes official. HLYY, I believe. Brendan gave us that symbol. Irrelevant until it changes, but thanks, Brendan, for that news back when we talked about it early in good trade there. To be short, so following kind of those rules. Okay, here we go. Space, nice win here. We'll just take it off a little bit. Hit the hot dogs. We're long at 81. We're still long. We're going to take some more at 20, going through 20, but let's just celebrate here. A 10, 15 cent win. Just took some out 93s, and that's 12 cents. The rest is going to wait to get out 96.97, and then we'll wait to see what it does at 20. But we did play the pullback. Look, it pulled all the way back to 1970 there. So now we're in 12 cents in the money, waiting for higher, though. Of course, it looks like they're resisting the break again, but we'll just keep getting some out. We are long here at 81. Here comes maybe 94, 95, 96. We're out now. There we go. We're out of Virgin Galactic. Nice little win there, 17 cents. And again, remember, trade your book, guys. I still do think we're going to break through 20. But when you have that kind of winner on, even if you have 1,000 shares there and it's in the money 15 cents, that's 150 bucks. You may want to take that just in case. Like, you don't have to be right breaking through 20. You could take your profit off and then put more on when it does get through 20. So there you go. Just another win right there for Virgin Galactic. And it's just small, man. All we're doing is taking small cuts. But we should have held some for at least this break. Got nervous on this 19 breakdown. But there it is. A nice little win there as we play the momentum finally to the upside and take some out here on Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, I'm going to go with punch it because this one punched through in a big way. You just mentioned Tortoise, but quickly went to the higher time frame. You look at, and we mentioned this one, it's a good idea. It's a good thing to go back to some of the things that we go over in the morning. You watch all of last week. I mean, at least the last couple of sessions, this was the top 45 to 45.40. So when you get a gap fill to the downside, you get previous resistance. This was the level of pie in the sky area. The second I see it bounce off that price, forget about the trailing stop. I'll just get out manually here at 46.22. That'll be top to bottom, a nice it's going to be just shy of a $4 win here for those shares. It's an awesome structured trade. I don't get the first flush, but you get the consolidation right off of last week's highs. This gives you a great entry point, scalps them out. You get the bigger flush through 47 even. A little bit lucky that it was going down so fast. Now, there was no reason at all to get out at 47, but it meets the top from yesterday or from last week in the afternoon, and we get out in front of it the second it bounces. One more we still have on. This is, of course, PLL. They got the deal with Tesla. Maybe I'm getting greedy here, but it's double bottoming at 28.65. I'm going to move my trail once again. If it holds this double bottom, we'll give it to 31. We'll lock in about $1.50 worth of profit. It might be catching a bid. Now, that news here is actually pretty solid for them. So at some point, you could see a ramp up on these guys. Piedmont, for now, a good little short, but could be heading back to the northbound side with this double bottom.
Okay, here goes Virgin Galactic. We're going to try a little risk on this trade, making now moves to the upside here. I don't know how high it's going to go, but we'll just wait to see here, see if we can't capture a little bit more profit than we're used to on this trade that does have room to go. So we are liking this trade to the upside, but we're going to try to do the same thing that we've been doing on these trades, and that is just taking them out as we go for profit, and then hopefully not holding the bag when it does eventually turn. So right here, a good little trade on space right now, long at 05s, taking some out here in the teens, hopefully, guys.
Yeah, and continuing to go to the upside here is going to be INO. I know it's sliding up. It's not necessarily moving as fast as some of the other names that we're seeing. But next target, like I said, in front of 13. If you can get a move up there, I'll take another leg out. If that breaks, I'm obviously looking at 14, and we talked about that target, 14.50 to the upside. I do still have Nikola, and someone literally asked me about, I think whoever it was, I didn't see who it was, asking in the chat there about American Airlines. American Airlines is trolling me here. It cannot break through this 1280 area. The market tried to slide up. It just held a pullback, so the entry to the long, I reversed from a short into a long. Still looking like it's found some support. I do have a stop down at 1260, so I am willing to risk, like 10, 15 pennies on that. But I didn't want to see it break through the pre-market high and then test 13 even, 1298. Ignore that. That was one dark pool print. The actual pre-market high is at 1286, so that would be the breakthrough.
All right, we are ready now again. Everything's been going well, man. Space going to the upside right here. Workhorse continues to move. And now it's time for Sector Watch. Oh, Brendan, I like what I see there. The color is blue, and me likey.
Good day to be long, indeed. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 here. Very, very positive right across the entire board. 1.5%, in fact, for the overall S&P to the upside. Pretty tough to find weakness, but I'll start way over here in the materials group. WRK, 3.7%. An offering on WRK, so 3.9% to the downside. The rest, though, of the materials group is solidly higher on the session. So even with that, the group itself in positive territory. Real estate stocks mentioned early on this morning, some of those little REITs Big moves to the upside today, so that entire group is in positive territory. Healthcare stocks, energy shares, all positive on the day. Leading the market, though, is the banking sector, all of them in positive territory. Diversified financials, insurance companies, and all the banks. Literally all of the banks are in positive territory so far today. So big strength coming from there. Here's the travel names. We were talking about some of the airlines, UAL, AAL, and DAL. UPS, FedEx is in here somewhere. Yeah, 2.6%. FedEx is up 2.6% and tiny on this board because 2.6% in relation to the other moves. Not so good. Boeing, 5.3% today. A couple of upgrades, TXT, HWM, and URI, all 4+% to the upside. Tech shares are higher. Consumer discretionaries are higher. Just talked about Gap, 6.3%. TJX, ULTA, Roast, as I mentioned, hard to find something in negative territory. Some of the staples to the downside today, but everything else nicely higher, guys. 1.46% for the S&P. Back over to you.
I got something that's lower. JE, Just Energy, I'm showing you it in Toronto so you can see my executions. I am down on one stock. Well, we'll see what happens in American Airlines. I could end up down on that one. It's dependent, but look, it's just Energy. It's only sliding to the downside. I had two shorts, and I'm down on the stock because the first one was a horrible entry price, and the second one I didn't hold long enough. So it's continuing to slide. If you were caught holding this one long, did mention that I liked it to the south side today. I just bungled trading it myself over here in Toronto. It is what it is, guys. It's going to happen to you. INO continues to move up, but PLL, I did slide my stop here. I'm still short here, 32.82. It just briefly broke that double bottom, headed southbound. If 28 goes, I will move my stop down once again and try and lock in 250 worth of profit at least, but got to break that low of 28. Looks like a good one here. In the money, $4 on PLL. This, of course, they got that Tesla contract and on our watch list, so should have been all over this one a couple of times. We finally got to it when it got to 32.33. Got the rollover short here.
Okay, guys, yes, big news here for DraftKings. No idea, actually, what the news is, but we are big move, I should have said, upside for DraftKings. Not sure on the news. Brendan will probably come with that if he can find something, but up 7% today. Obviously, NFL continues to basically have no COVID cases, so I think that's probably a positive. Baseball finally heading into the playoffs. That's going to be a positive. NASDAQ and ES moving down, but I just want to talk about DraftKings up that 6.5%. It seems like a lot of positivities, and I'm going to do the backflip as a shareholder. I'm super happy. Today on the show, we have not traded it, but what a great break that would have been if you did have the break of the pre-market. It tested, fades back down, then third time's a charm, and we break to the high side there on the same time roughly that the ES breaks. So you see this is 1018. There goes the market, and here there goes Donkey Kong, and here goes, of course, we're talking DraftKings, and there goes the ES. So nothing but upside there. We are out. We have 10% of our Virgin Galactic left. Here again, we'll switch that over. You can see where we got out, man. This is does something look familiar here? Bang it to the upside, bang it to the upside. Then we hold the last 10% just to get out down here if it does break 1984. So there you go. Making the money as much as we can on the initial break and then trying to hold and then getting suckered out. So we'll see if that happens again. And look, if we get dumped out again, we'll do it. You got to stay disciplined and you got to stay true to sort of how you've been trading and the success that's been coming, right? Sometimes if you step outside of your comfort zone, you may not find the success that you want. I'm going to go back to one more trade that we did have early. And again, look at this. Very similar to my style. In, crushed it. Out, and dropped it off. NEO, not a very good stock for me today, but it was an early banger. And now we're just hovering near the bottom. I don't see anything. It's just, it's on our watch list. We did talk about it. It's 20 million shares today. So just watch it out. I just want to bring up this little spot right here where we're approaching 1875, 1876 here on NIO. You'll know when I'm going to get ready to take a trade. This is not one of them, but just it's getting close to possibly having something on board here. I know I just talked a lot, but it's Brendan's turn.
Speaking of 20 million shares, CBAT, we were looking at this one last week, guys. If I scroll over here, you remember this thing had a big gap to the upside, and then they kind of faded it all day long on Friday. But yeah, 20 million shares on the day. It really hasn't done much. This is that CBAK Energy, so another one of those clean energy names. But 20 million shares today. It's basically been 220 to 320, and that's about it, guys.
We're going to hit a home run because baseball playoffs are going to start. I'm excited for it. Why? Because the Toronto Blue Jays are in the playoffs, believe it or not. So it's going to be a good time for me. If you're not a fan, fair enough. It is what it is. INO is not necessarily going to be the home run. It's a home run if it gets to that 14 target. It's trying to break 13 right now. We are in the money, 80 pennies on it. What I can tell you is looking pretty good is Piedmont there. PLL giving it all back. Well, not giving it all back. It was an $11 stock last week, so obviously it has a long ways to go. Fantastic for them with the deal they got with Tesla, 5-year contract. 28 just broke. So I said once it actually got through that bottom, I would move my trail once again. We're short here at 32.82. I'm going to move my trail right to this nice little 29 even area. So we can't do worse than like $3.50 winner, depending on what the slippage might be. And then we'll see how far this one wants to slide. I don't have any targets at this point. It's not like I have levels that I can work off of here, but if it starts to make a bit of a base, I can get like a $5 win. That might be worth it to get out of this one. It's been fantastic, but the news is still pretty positive on PLL, so we would expect at some point it is going to find a nice little bottom here for itself, and I'll want to make sure we've locked in profits on the way down towards it. Do want to jump over to one other, of course, and maybe a reoccurring theme here. Like I said, I'm down on JE. I'm not down on, well, I am down on AL because we took a short first. If we can make money on this long, we'll get that money back from the short loss. But once again, it's trying to take out this little top here, 1280 to 1285, the pre-market highs. The market sliding back down, which of course means
is the best.
AL moving up. That makes sense to me,
yeah,
right?
I was just going to say SPI, the name that we looked at last week, of course, going. And I'm going to take this one breaking through the top here.
Again?
And it just doesn't want to stop. We've seen this over and over and over again on SPI. Obviously, some big moves last week. Spartan Energy getting into the EV space here. So it's trying to go again here anyways. Let's see what happens if it does take out the high of the day. But look, it makes a run at it and then retraces back about 30 or 40 cents. This is not a name that I'm actually trying to trade. We're just trying to play the momentum, and that would be a break, for my opinion anyways, of the high. And then just noticing, like, this is from 1070, it retraced back to 1040. So if we get a fail on the break, I got you guys. We're only going to give it from 1075 back down that 50 cents, so to about 1025. So most of these candles are about 50 cents. So let's watch it. Here it goes. It's going to take the top off. We are going to be long SPI right now. But with that, you know my out, guys, 1025. Brendan's at the big screen. There it is. So now we're long SPI. Let's see how high this one wants to go. We're long at 1080, already in the money, 15, 20 cents here. SPI looking to go parabolic. And there it goes. So bang, a nice little win right there, 40 pennies on the first bit. We just talked about that one and gave it to you live. There goes SPI. We're now in the money, 80 cents off the top here. SPI still going. What a great trip this one's been. Let's throw it back over to Brendan, and we'll manage out of this position, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look, quick one at some of the currency markets so far today. Put the US dollar index back up on the chart here. You can see a bit of a pullback so far. We had this huge move from 92.80 up to 94.80 almost last week. Bit of a pullback, a little bit overdue. We broke this recent kind of resistance area around that 93.75, 94 area. So back to the upside for the US dollar, but pulling in recently. So that means that some of these are going to be in positive territory, including the euro, the Canadian dollar. Look at the British pound making the biggest move today, 0.9%, almost back to 129 for the British pound. So the big winner on the day, the pound, Japanese yen, Swiss franc in negative territory. A little bit of a move back towards equities. Again, today we're seeing volatility coming off, so these are lower. Australia, New Zealand, basically unchanged. Australia was a lot higher than that. Bitcoin and Ethereum also in positive territory, but you can see this Bitcoin kind of struggling at 10,900. We've been in that kind of 10,800 to 900 area for the past few days. Needs to get away from that, it looks like. Ethereum, though, once again leading 2.5% to the upside. Back over to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. We're going to go with, I don't know, go to the back into the bag here of tricks for an old one. Jackpot on PLL. Look, I talked about it possibly finding a base. The first little pushback was here at 27. It did trail me out here, 27.66 or so. So it's going to be a nice win for us, guys. It's a $5 win on the last little bit. We did take some out initially for about $1.30. Then the next leg down, we're going to take $2.50 on it, and then a $5 win on the last quarter of the position here. So PLL, moving to the front of the board for me. It's going to be my top stock of the day. But we do have another position on which is doing, I would say, rather nicely. It just gave its first little pullback here in INO. We talked about the 12 even break. I would have liked to dip by. We mentioned this one. It was on our watch list. I said if it dips into 10, we'd take it. I did miss that trade, getting busy with a couple of other things off the open. It then gave you this opening range break at 12 even. We got that trade at least. Now breaking through 1350. 14 to 1450 was a target area. Once it slips up there and turns around or finds any kind of a consolidation sideways level, I will be getting out. It's a fantastic one. I can trail it to 1350 now, but I really do think there's a chance we get to that 14 area. And if you sort of go back into last week, I'll give you the 3-minute here. Simply that little bottom. So this will support in last week's action, of course, the gap down on the halt of their trial. But it was like the device you're using to inject the vaccine, not actually the vaccine itself. Looks like the first pullback is coming into 1350 here. Might end up being a $1.50 winner, but I'll take that all day, every day here in INO.
Okay, guys, I'm just tweeting this out right now about SPI. Those of you that want to follow us, you can follow us all. But SPI right now, it's hilarious. My order was at 11:42, right where it halted. We did have an offer out there. We never got filled. We should have punched out. Normally, when I'm stuck in a halt, it's a bad thing. So watch out right now. But we are in this halted name, so we will just put this out and make sure that let's see where it goes from here. But SPI, good little trade. We're in at 1080 right now. Out for 20% upside right there, and we'll hold the rest and just see where it goes. While we got excited for that one, our space did fall down. We did save ourselves a little bit of money there on getting out at 85, as it did tank down to 70 and change. So we did try that last run, and did we try it? Yes, we did. We actually made some decent money on that one, but let's just see here. If it wants to test 20 again, we can probably grab that just to see where it goes. Workhorse, again, we're still long. Oh, that broke view up. I don't even think I have it out for this one. We have 5% of our positions left. This was, again, a good trade. Didn't maximize it at the top, but did get out of a decent amount. I have to keep my eyes focused here on SPI. I'll put it out, like I said, and you guys can follow it, but that's where we're long. We're long right off here, and we're glad, man. I gave that to you guys as we were watching it happen, so hopefully that's worth the price of admission. My mic just fell. Price of admission is free. Hopefully my mic is okay, and you guys can still hear me.
Hopefully it is okay. We'll floss off INO here, guys. It just rolled over. Talked about 14 to 1450 as a target. Got to 1380, then it turned. I trailed it here at 50. So, like I said, it could last a little bit. Could be $1.50. That's basically what it ends up being. It was a fantastic breakout trade. This one, of course, on our watch list. And I liked it to the long side a couple of ways here. Brendan, what do you have for us, buddy?
Yeah, what a bounce on that INO. Nice move back up. AQST, another therapeutics type of name. 33% to the downside. They also had an FDA ruling that was not in their favor today. So AQST to the downside. This is not virus related, but just broke 5 again on decent volume. Still 34% for this one, though, guys.
Just going to jump back to one other position now that we just got out of INO, and good timing because look at that, all the way back into 13. So good out here when 1350 broke. I do want to jump over back to Nikola. The entire EV space obviously in play. Nikola came all the way up, retested the top at like 1915, literally right where my stop was on our initial short position. Does not break, so I still am holding on to it. I had a break-even stop. Otherwise, I just want to be sitting in this. As long as it does not take out this level here at 1915, I'll probably be short this, unless it holds 18 and gives you a double bottom action. Maybe I get out and take my dollar and run a second time here in Nikola. But I want to stay net short in this one. Still down 5%, still under a lot of pressure. Why not play with house money here and play the trend to the downside of Nikola?
Yeah, okay, and yeah, good call there. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, space short. Oh, man, yeah, see, there we go. Mistake there. Did not mean to get into that one, so let's just get out of space short right now before we get fried on that one. But there we go, we're out. Okay, what just happened here? We didn't get fried at all on that. What just happened there was an upside move in SPI. We were able to get some out at 1150, right where basically it opened. It does test as high as 12, but yeah, it looks like the momentum on this name here, people trying to trade it properly this time, maybe. So we're in win right now. It's a 50-cent win. Our best out is up here somewhere now. We're waiting to see if it can retest 70. But look, I mean, the parabolicness of SPI, it may not go today like it's been going in the past. Obviously, brokers now probably have their shorts. I'm going to cancel this anyways, see if we can get back to 12. If we break 12, let's see the next high. Let's sit at 1250 just to see if that does happen. But we're out again of the majority of our SPI. So let's just wait to see how high this thing wants to go upside right now. Just having a hard time. Right where it opened back, 1140, 1150. Maybe a good spot to get out of this one and just celebrate our 70 cents, guys.
Yeah, it's all about celebrating the profits. Like, we're getting to that 11 o'clock hour. This is that time of day where you have to consider, the market might start to slow down a little bit. You might want to consider not giving away too much of your profits. Look for ideas for afternoon trade when things might pick up just a little bit more. I do want to jump back over to another name from our watch list, that Lithium America Corporation made a bit of a bottom, and it's actually now holding this 10 even area. It's a sympathy play, of course, with Tesla making a deal with Piedmont. So this one I actually thought might even be a better sell. That actually hasn't turned out to be true just yet, but the day isn't over. If it takes out this 10 level again to the downside, might start selling back in. It's only up 18%, however. I mean, I shouldn't say only up 18%. That's actually a good number. But compared to what we saw in Piedmont, that's actually nothing. So there is a little bit of room for it to come back in on a 10 break to the downside. I'm not as juiced about this trade as I was in the pullback in Piedmont, but it's certainly one to watch. I do want to come back. I don't want to shy away from JE. It's starting to come back to the upside. This is U.S. prices. I would be looking to fade into this one at 35 or 36 shorts. The equivalent over in Toronto, where I would put the trade on, is right here into 46. So if it pulls back up to that 45, 46 range in Toronto, that's the equivalent price in New York, if that's where you happen to be following it, guys.
Yeah, good look there. We do have access to all markets, almost all markets around the world, including, I think we're up to 62 or 63 from Day Trade the World. So good look there. We can easily just switch. That's why you always see us not struggle, but we got to go between NQ, which you see up here, and NY and whatnot, because various symbols are interchangeable. Not even same company, but just same symbol, different exchange. Okay, so we did take off another 10% as it does come back, and we got out for flat there. So SPI still a big stock, not going to be my largest stock of the day unless we run up. We're going to see if it gives another test to 12, but that's coming sooner rather than later. SPI back on the move, another 30-cent win. Let's throw it to the big screen with Miss V.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe is in a very positive territory today. Warsaw is leading up 3.84%. Germany is up 3.12%. France is up 2.43%, and Britain is up 1.86%. Diageo is keep moving up after saying that it had made a strong start to its fiscal year 2021. I'll keep you updated, and back to traders.
And back to Snowflake. I mean, I feel like we've maybe been neglecting the stock a little bit. I see you guys talking about it a little bit on the chat here. It's getting to that $250 level. Now remember, these guys, 120 issue price, opening up like 100%. It did make sort of a hard top here. If you just go to the daily chart, made a hard top above $300. Now you are getting a strong move, and we initially sold off when it made that hard top, but you're making a strong move back towards some of these highs. 255 is sort of an obvious resistance point. 250 would be the next one. It's actually giving you a bit of a triple top here around this 246. I like the opportunity to maybe get into a short position if I can on a rollover, but it's nearing a secondary breakout, and that would be from right here, that 46, into either this 50 or that 55. So it either has to come back down below 245 or make a test higher before I jump into Snowflake. This train is left the station and up another, look, top to bottom, it's going to show you almost 10%. Of course, if you go to the close. I mean, this stock, 225. It's been an insane move in snow. It does get thinly traded at times, so it can be deceiving to see right now a 12-cent spread. When it breaks levels, that opens up to like 50 cents to $1 at times. So you have to anticipate that much slippage when you're considering where your stop order should be.
Yeah, Snowflake, again, another name that I'd love to get into for a longer-term play. I'll let you know when that price is right for me. I was thinking 180, but yeah, now we're at 250, so got to wait for that one. One name that I'm glad we got into really early as an investor, DraftKings just keeps on making new highs, man. And I know my theory, again, I don't know, they probably got upgraded today. We'll find out. But the theory there was that obviously NBA is making the finals. Should be a lot of gambling going on through there. NFL's had a very, very successful open to their season. I feel like COVID-wise, anyways, I don't know what the ratings are like. And then you also do have some of the baseball playoffs starting. And then, of course, college football back in the swing of things. I saw a lot of that happening this weekend as well. So DraftKings, wow, up 9%. Like, this is insane, Brendan.
I don't actually see anything as far as today is concerned, but remember, guys, the end of last week, we had both Penn and DraftKings multiple upgrades on the space, and it was basically off the back of what Sean just mentioned there, all of the sports coming back, Major League Baseball getting into postseason. So, yeah, another day of big moves for DraftKings. KNDI one here. KNDI, I remember this one from way back when we were trading it on the show. Another one with ties to the EV space, guys, just popping up on a volume scanner. You can see big volume spike there as we took out day highs, up 7% for this one, guys.
Yeah, just quickly here, I am going to take Penn long just because I've seen enough of this now with DraftKings. Penn making moves to the high side there. It is trying to take out this day's high. I don't have anything to go on. I mean, obviously, we'd love to get it back here at 770. Let's just see if Penn also takes out the day's high. And we'll engage in a long at this price. If we can get it upside, well, not if we can get it, when we get it. I assume it's going to break at some point. 71.65, and then we'll just see where we push high side on Penn. But right now, waiting for that to happen. Doesn't look like he wants to do it right this second, but if it does come back in, again, this is not one, I don't want to build a position on this. It's a little violent. 70.50 here would be a good spot if you are into some Penn, but right now I'd like it just to play the momentum off the top, and then once we get to that level, upside after that, we'll have to look at a daily chart. It looks like we may be near, we are getting near all-time highs of Penn, which would be 75, so there is room to run if we do break this. So not super worried. I don't think we're paying the ultimate high, but we are obviously taking out the day's high here. Only up 2%. Let's see if Barstool Sports and Penn wants to join Donkey Kong and put it through the oblivion.
Yeah, and of course by Donkey Kong he means DraftKings there. I love the nicknames. Look, you're going to hear us do that from time to time, try to have a little bit of fun. It's an old trader thing. I do want to jump back over to JE. I mentioned in Toronto prices, I was going to look for the rollover 45, 46. Was able to pick up some shares short at 45.5. It's worth noting, you guys that are watching it in New York, it'll trade at like tenths of a cent, but over here in Toronto, if it's under 50 cents, you're only going to see a half penny spread, which to me, it's an advantage because it allows you to give a bigger tick increment when you're taking a position in terms of taking profits at least, guys. So a little more flexibility here to contrast that with what you might see over in New York, and this is part of the reason I prefer trading it. I mean, look at this. You're trading at 1/10 of a cent is the spread here. So a little bit more clean trading in Toronto if you're looking at a penny stock. But I got the short here, 45.5 in Toronto. The corresponding price was this 35 area that I mentioned to you guys over in JE. This was a great trade last week. Volume, 25 million in Toronto, 67 million trading in New York. I can also give you, update you on Nikola here. Still sliding to the downside. Needs to break this little bottom. If you get down to 18 again and can't break it, I will get out for the dollar winner and just sort of wash my hands of this trade. But it hasn't broken my stop. Still in the money on Nikola short.
And we'll do a little wink action because bang, there it is. Look at Workhorse. We go wink, wink, wink all day long. And look at this name, guys. Now, $1 in the money, $1.20 in the money, $1.25 in the money. Workhorse right now, Brendan, parabolic move off the bottom. No idea what happened to Workhorse there. Fades off of this, whatever this is called, VWAP. When we're in this much money here, we have no idea what to talk about. VWAP break, upside here on Workhorse. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. The carousel continues. $28. I don't know. Could stop there. Who knows? But we're in this Workhorse name. Let's take it out a little bit. It goes all the way to $27.20. Actually, let's hold on until we find out where the name is. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Penn, we did take a little bit of that one as well. Long at 68s, trying to get some out here at 90s. Unfortunately, we ignored that. It goes all the way up to $72. Normally, that's a spot where we have resting orders because we don't want it to run basically to what it just did. Hit certain key levels and then come back down. So unfortunately, we didn't notice that, but there goes Penn, still up there, 50 cents in the money. And we just take it out. Boom! We had a little bang action right there. Let's keep going, guys. Upside there on PENN. There it is. We go back-to-back jacks, and we run the money through the washing machine today as it just keeps spitting out $100 bills. I don't even know what those are. Hopefully they're not dollar bills. But here we go upside. Money being made there. Nice little out on Penn. And you can see Workhorse. We'll wait to see if there's anything on this one. But upside move on Workhorse, guys.
Yeah, big-time movement there. I'm going to give you a JE also sliding down. We just talked about it. Just took some legs out here. Every half penny, we're just going to go and work out of this trade. I still have that 45.5. I think it can get back to 40 even. I want to be shorting pops, 46 in Toronto, and then working it out all the way down to 40. So a nice trade over there. I still want to go back over to INO. And again, I sort of gave you guys a bit of a target to the upside of 14 to 14.5. When it rolled over just shy of that, look, you make a target area. If it stalls just a little bit shy of it, I'm going to put a trailing stop in every single time. It's almost a perfect out here on the way back, 1350. Just retraced to 1260. 12 even was a breakout price. If it retests that and gives you a hold, that might be a nice little place to jump back into the long. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to file that one away. We're into that sort of a HFT hour, which lasts like 3 hours or so, where things might slow down. Market could go sideways. You want an actionable plan. Some of these levels start to come back into favor. There goes JE, so it is on the way down to that 40-cent mark, guys. 45 half. That price, of course, I'll remind you, is in Toronto.
Okay, so there it is right here, guys. The move, apparently, Brendan, I don't know if you have, I see what you've captured to us. Eamon Jabbers, I guess, from CNBC, talking about El Presidente liking the Lordstown truck. So, Brendan, we could throw to you whatever if you want to talk about that. But Lordstown, we did hear from Workhorse. They do have, and we just found out today. And actually, that's part of our watch list as well. We did have this one, and I tweeted it out. So I tweeted out that we've had this one for a while. But there we go, Workhorse to the moon, $1.75 in the money right now. And the man that has the news here that just dropped that Eamon Jabbers to us in the chat is right here. Let's go, Brendan.
Yeah, the other one in that story, guys, DPHC, Diamond Peak, the other one that is tied to Workhorse starting to go here on that news as well. So volume picking up, just went from 25 to 26.50, about to take out day highs there. Even DPHC now up 10%, guys.
Yeah, DPHC just broke its the 2660. This pre-market also opening range high, guys. So look, I see that news is just some look. Looking at a truck on the White House lawn, I mean, likes it. It's probably going to be a fade at some point. But let's look at some levels. DPHC, last time it got up here, had some chop right around this 27, 28 area, all the way up into 32. And if it starts to turn, that's where I'll try to pick this one. It's a little more volatile, I think, than Workhorse. So it's very thinly traded. 30-cent, 40-cent spread at times on this, whereas Workhorse, probably a little bit more clean.
Yeah, we're just going to take this out if we can now and celebrate the $2. We'll just see, play some momentum back to the upside right here. We're long at 25.84, guys. It's at 27.69 right now. So a nice little ripper there to go on that one. SPI, meh. 20 cents in the money, still a big stock for us, but waiting to see if it even goes more than what we're looking at right here. And obviously, we're being a little greedy. We'll take some out if it gets near 11 again. We just have too many big winners right now, including Penn as well. That goes all the way up to 72 and change. We're long at 71.68. So we got to make sure we capture some of these profits, man. You don't want to let everything fall down. So it's been obviously a big, huge day for us here on some of these names. And the only loser I have on is actually, and believe it or not, you can see the board at the bottom. NEO is a loser, but depending on how you traded it, P&L wise, you're probably okay. So NEO right now, the only name on board that I've been negative on. Let's try to keep it that way as Workhorse now bounces solidly off that 28. It's actually really funny because when it was going parabolic, I set up here 28.50 looks like the spot where we could stop. So let's wait to see. We are on the offer now, hoping to get some out. We'll just take the clean $2 off that one. And yeah, celebrate it, because we obviously did not expect anything like that. It was a good trade. It had momentum behind it today, and it's in the EV space. But you got to make sure that you do take winners when they're on board, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I just sort of went to the 15-minute there when I was looking at DPHC, and then found this level from last week, 27.25. Is that where it turns? Yeah, you better believe it. So I'm looking at that previous opening range top. I just shorted off of it. I said I would jump into this short. That news makes no sense to me for it to make that kind of a 10% from bottom to top. So the retracement is on, 50 cents in the money right now, but a bit of a spread on DPHC. Brendan, what do you got?
This May, however, yes, that's news of him just looking at a truck is not news in itself, but there's speculation floating around, guys, that the post office, the United States Postal Service, may do a deal with this Helion truck involved. So that is more along the lines of something that will move a stock that much, guys.
Yep, good.
I'm out.
I just got out based on some of that news right there. We got out of the 25 there, breaking through the quarter level. So we do that every time. And let's just wait to see if there's more news on that one. I do like this little break here, 27.75. We'll take it again if it does go this time, guys.
Brendan's the man. I mean, I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's not news. It shouldn't move the stock. I'm going to jump into the short on this one, and then he gives you the juice here. Look, it might come back, but I was only shorting it because I believe a photo op is not good enough. But certainly actionable news there, worthwhile. I'm not saying go long in it, but that's not enough for me to jump into the short. I do want to take you quickly back to JE. I do have a negative stock on the day, and believe it or not, despite saying I like the short in JE, yeah, it's this one that I'm down on. I'm going to make this money, well, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't say I'm going to make this money back. We're trying to make this money back, of course. Just took that last short in Toronto, 45 half. I'm still hanging on to some. See if I can't get it out in front of 40 like I mentioned here. So solid return on this trade. It is starting to bounce just a little bit, guys. If you're trading it in New York, I'll try to jump back and forth with you because most of you probably are. It's 30 to 31 cents would be that same bottom. It's 35, 36 where I would have been shorting in front of the equivalent price over in the U.S. here. I'm shorting it in Toronto for two reasons. One, easier to borrow shares, and even more important, when you look at that level two, guys, look at trade by a tenth of a cent. It gets a little messy, I think. Very clean trading in Toronto where it moves at the half penny. Much better for trading penny stocks, in my humble opinion. So that's where I'll jump to as long as there's liquidity. And 26 million is nothing to sneeze at. I know it's doing more in New York, but I'm trading in Toronto anyways.
Okay, just watching out to see what happens here. We did get out of our, that's plug power. Oh, yeah, wow. Look at this plug power. We got out of our last 10% down there on the break, but now that's making new moves to the high side as well. Plug, on obviously today, there's been a few different bang-in opportunities to go here, including Penn, which is what we want to talk about before I clicked on plug. Obviously alphabetical as we go in our blotters here. But okay, right now Penn taking out the new highs, 72. This is where we're long. The double outs right here at 72. And then now we'll wait for a third left on Penn, trying to make new highs on this name. And I think we do get there, especially because DraftKings, although did hiccup there, still going. Excuse me, like I just did, just downing some water there. 58.30 still going upside on DraftKings as we continue to look. I did want to give a shout out. We just did have a brand new member there. Sina, what's up? Bakhtiari there. Sina Bakhtiari. Oh, my Green Bay Packers take out the poor New Orleans Saints last night, and we'll just see if that can continue. Green Bay, a couple good wins, now 3-0, same as the Buffalo Bills.
Better believe it.
Some decent money being made there gambling-wise yesterday, so that was good. 9-6 to the overs. A lot of points being scored. If you like points, tonight could be another one when you do have the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs facing their AFC rival now, I guess. Baltimore Ravens is two of the best quarterbacks in the league, go head-to-head. And if you're looking for a job from NBC, so am I. No, I'm just kidding there on that preview. But should be a good game. We'll continue to go. Look at Virgin Galactic, Neil, still banging its head at $20 right now.
Yeah, 100%. I'll jump back to a couple of things, the AAL, going to be one of them in a second. But I just wanted to remind everybody, we talked about the Q&A, of course, to death. But we are also dropping a video on our Market Wisdom page today. it is going to be breaking news. Now, obviously, you see us trade price action all the time, but almost everything on our watch list has news going into the day on it. But sometimes you get news intraday. Brendan brings it to you, and you want to see how can you trade actionable news. Very important to have a bit of a plan, how you can react to it, develop a pattern. That's what we go over in this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Check it out. Valeria's going to be dropping it rather shortly into the chat, that link, so you can watch it right when the show was done and right before you come to our Q&A that we wanted to give back to our members with. I said I would get back to American Airlines, and I'm covering it because I'm in position. It did test this little pre-market high, so I did, the second time it came up, I'll take some out in front of the high for a 10-cent win. I'm still looking for it to really break up. Hasn't done it. 1286 is that top. Ignore this. Forget that 1298, that little pre-market wick. Just sort of an overnight dump on a deep print, a dark pool print. So that doesn't really mean anything. It has to break this 1285. Then we'll get the move up to 13, hopefully. So American Airlines, that's my long. Still have JE short. That's 3.5 cents in the money in Toronto. And Nikola, still short in Nikola. It's starting to level off a little bit, however. You're seeing some sideways action here. If it breaks 1840, if only it breaks 1840, I'll probably move my trailing stop, somewhere down around this 1875 to lock in some profit. Otherwise, my stop has been at 1915 all morning long. It's been a great short. But this bottom hold, this was on volume when it held 18. That's one reason why the bid might have come in, at least for today, on Nikola. Brendan, what do you got?
Shout out to Jonathan Lemire, White House reporter. There you go, physical proof, guys, right on the front lawn there. The president and the truck having a little chat. So if there are comments to come or question and answer period to come that might announce a deal possibly, then just a heads up, if you're still watching Workhorse and that DPHC, this might not be done, guys.
No, and we crushed Workhorse. They got very lucky, obviously, that this happened. You had no idea, but if you do check our watch list, you know Workhorse is on there, and I gave you some levels, and we did like this one through VWAP and then cashed in about halfway through that move. Obviously, we're waiting to see what happened to the upside, but we are going to go long once again right here, and if it doesn't work out, this is my drop spot, 2740. So you'll see Workhorse pop in long again on this break, and thank you for that picture, Brendan. Makes sense. It's a beautiful looking truck as well, and obviously, the world's going to go electric at some point. So some of these companies need to get the contracts, and that's obviously a big one. USPS, maybe none bigger than the Postal Service. So we'll wait to see if that one can come through, and then we'll take that out on the high side of 2780. Penn tries to get me out, but it doesn't. 7150 break doesn't happen there. There is a wick down there. I don't know. We didn't get participated in that, so we'll wait for a 7150 break. 72 upside. That's where we've gotten out. So again, if 7150 breaks, is an 18 penny loss, but we've already taken out 25 times 2 there. So good little trade there on Penn. We will definitely crack that money through. The one thing, we're getting a lot of members, and I did want to say thank you to all of the members that we had recently, including Creole Arts on Facebook there, Josh Thomas, what's up, and then Andrew as well. Thank you so much. But we would also like, how many viewers do we even have now? 4,800? We need some more likes, guys. You want to see Valeria do some backflips, do some moonwalks, do some space moves, and whatnot. That's my favorite one, the space. You got to hit the likes now. Let's get to 1,500, and then the next goal after that would be 2K. I think we're already at 1,000, I believe. We'll check in with Valeria when that's ready. But space looks like we just did talk about that one possibly going right here. It'd be nice when the U.S. government announces that they're using their ships to fly to the moon. Then we'll be going crazy. But $20 right now, just bouncing off of that. I think it's worth a small long if you did like the name still.
Yeah, and I'm going to do a quick little backflip. Just got to that JE at 41.5. Now, of course, that's going to be about 31 cents if you're trading it, to 35 to 31 if you're trading it in the U.S., 45.5 to 41.5 if you're trading it in Toronto. Look, we actually hit 90,000 subscribers, and thank you guys for getting us to that number. But Sean mentioned the moonwalk. I love that astronaut look. Valeria, it's been obviously a hectic Monday morning. You've seen how crazy it's been. By the way, love the all-black look. How are we doing with the likes? Are we going to get that spacesuit action of you on the screen?
Well, Neil, I'm happy you asked because we really need traders' support. We're at 1,300 of likes and 2,000 is our daily goal. So guys, please show some support and smash the like button.
Smash it. You got the Bieber heart. She gave it to you. We are 65% of the way there, if my math is correct, and I'm pretty sure it is. So let's see if we can't get to that 2,000 number. Obviously, it's been a fun one today. I'm showing you guys the chart here. It's not going to have executions on JE. That's because I've been trading it in Toronto, but that rollover, I did have the top of that move in Toronto and just got it all out in front of the low of the day. I'm still actually going to be down on it because of my opening trade was no moss. I definitely got into the short and then allowed myself to get stopped out. Should have dug in deeper. I definitely like that short in JE. It's been coming in ever since this parabolic move on the daily chart, and I'll quickly show you. This is what happened. You get this double top at 80. Look at that. Thank you, guys. Got us to that 1,500 number. There is the moonwalk action, but it's that astronaut look I want to see when we hit that 2K. Thank you guys for the support. This was a short that I should have been all over and very, very confident. The second it did not break above this 45 to 47 level, should have been short all day long. This little bottom here at 27.28, I think maybe you could find some support on JE. Those are all prices in New York. I will be trading it in Toronto, and I'll do the conversion for you guys every time I get in.
Yeah, exactly. Just going on here, looking at trying to get this space. Not trying to get it to do anything, just watching it here at 20. As it keeps resisting this 20 break, we will take small. This is not going to be a big one. You guys know when we hit it for a large trade, I'll take out the stick and let you guys know. Here we go. It just needs to, it didn't even go there. Again, we're not in. You'll see a little up arrow, and you'll see me in this trade when it does happen. Pen rips up to 72 again and stops. So look, I'm willing to hold this one. Generally speaking, if we weren't having such a successful day today, we probably would be getting out for the profits, but we're willing to roll some of these profits a little bit higher and see if we can't break it. So my bad if we get out here at 71.50, but we could have just cashed in 3 times on Pen, but we're just taking a little bit of a risk there. And there we go, 20. Like, how am I long at $20 even? I was waiting for a long to go at 20.05 break, but okay, space. We'll take the 20 break here, and right now we are long space. I may get out of it as it didn't really break 20. What's up, B?
Still watching that workhorse, guys, just so you know, we'll keep an eye on that. Devon Energy just popping back up on a volume scanner. Just wanted to point this out. We talked about this earlier, but Devon Energy buying WPX Energy, so it is cash and stock. I mentioned that earlier. So about half a share of Devon and 456 in cash. So WPX just breaking back through $5 once again. All kinds of volume on this thing today so far, guys.
Yeah, it's a bit of a merger Monday. I mean, there was a deal, a cash deal in a MOBL that Brennan mentioned. You will see that probably pop in and out of my board from time to time. I had been relatively active in it, and it's been a good stock for me, but it's going to trade a tight little range, and I'm going to take advantage of 5 or 6 pennies or so. Just watch out for that 705 top, and then just take longs in front of like 695. That's what I've been doing basically all morning long in MOBL, so we'll make some money in that one. I do want to jump us quickly back to KCAC, which I don't know the reason for the pop that just happened. I just saw a volume spike, and someone mentioned it here in the chat. I just went up to like a 1780 break on volume, 50-cent move to the upside. It's only done 1 million shares. It's had a bit of a spread here, so it is relatively thinly traded. Worth giving a bigger picture look here. It has been sliding to the downside, so you are getting a bounce off of sort of a short-term bottom on this name that happened last week. Hard parabolic bottom, now making a move to the upside, guys. So this one just had a volume spike. I'm not aware of any news. Could have just been a technical break here, but Brendan's got something for us.
Yeah, that's Kensington Capital. So that's another one of the SPACs. But no merger yet announced for that one. So they are still mulling over a few options and ideas. But Kensington Capital in the SPAC group, guys.
All right, guys, and we're not mulling over too much here as space continues to go. Bang! Nice little out there at 17. So, yeah, it gets a little spicy here for space. Making moves to the upside right now, long 20. You saw us go long at 20. We went long again at $20.05. I think you actually wound up getting 07s on the break. Yes, we did. So an 05 break gives us 07s. Just took some out there, 17. Now we'll wait to see if space wants to continue to go to the upside. So our Virgin Galactic, our workhorse, we told told you that we would take a shot breaking there. We did. Again, it's not, we're not going to throw good money, bad money after good. So we've already taken this profit on Workhorse. It's been a big monster day. We just try one more time here. We're going to get out if it breaks the very, very easy level of $27. So this is not going to be rocket science. I do have some orders to get out here at 28 if it does spike again. But right now, Workhorse probably getting some steam out of it. This is one of those trades where it's going to be news-based. Obviously, Trump standing on the lawn there looking at a Workhorse truck. Obviously good for the company, but unless there's something really announced, this day probably fades back off, but 11% up. Decent day here for Workhorse. So we're just trying to play with fire a little bit. We are long at 76. I do understand that there's a risk involved there. That's why you got to trade your shares accordingly. And this is also why when space goes upside there, we take out the profits. You could see ding, 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 straight to the upside there. Obviously, we'll hold some in case it does fade back, but space, a good trade. So is Workhorse, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to get back to one name which I've been sort of patiently waiting for on the VXRT. You see this bottom it made at 685. Just showing you last week. There was a level here at 675 as well. So I do like to break down. I'll probably scalp some shares out towards 675 where that could be a re-entry point. Now, there was this double bottom that got put in at 620. That would be the ultimate target. A good chance that it might bounce off of that, about 10% from here. So you get like a 10% move on a double bottom, plus into support. There's no way I'm holding past that. That's the plan of action on VaxArt. Just to show you what it looks like on the 1 minute. Holding steady, but it just can't seem to break back to the upside off of this level. Maybe like a 710 break would be something if it does make a bottom here. But I'm looking for the short. It's 685. My order's been there all morning long. If it breaks, you're going to see me jump into that one. Snowflake, yeah, it didn't quite get to that 255, unfortunately. That's what we're sort of looking, go to that higher time frame. Here we go. That's what we're sort of looking at here. I was looking to see if it could roll over in front of it. It broke 250, got a couple of bucks, and has already started to head southbound. So there was a target I was looking for to jump into the short retracement. It never quite got there. Let's eyeball this level here, maybe like a 242. There was obviously some chop in that $3 or $4 range, 242 to 246. That could be a level if it comes back down. Only a half an hour for us to go, guys, but that does not mean we're going to be completely gone because a half an hour after the show ends, we are doing our first ever Q&A session. This is our way of giving back to you guys that are members here. So Sean Brennan, Valeria, and I will all be back. We'll grab a quick lunch, maybe a little coffee, and sit right back down here to answer all of your questions. We're going to be on for a half an hour. I hope you guys all tune in. It should be a heck of a lot of fun. So just jump in while the water is warm. We don't know what to expect except for some excitement, guys. I think it'll be a good one. Speaking of a good one, the out on SHLL, I'm sort of happy with the bottom that we picked here, but worth noting, that little 45 turn that got me triggered back out at 46.20, holds the bottom at 45, holds the bottom again at 45. Of course, this SPAC selling on the news, and it was going to be obviously my best winner of the day. If you look at this chart, it sort of goes without saying. But there is, obviously a lot of volatility still in with this name. I don't know if this is going to be a bottom that I would go long in front of, just given the whipsaw action you saw last week. A couple of legitimate moves down to 33. So I'm staying away from this one. It might look like a bit of a bottom that you would play. I am not going to be touching this for the long trade at all. I'm done with the short as well, but if it turns negative, and that would be at like 44.40, so not 45. If this turns negative on the session, you could really start to see that fall off rather heavily.
I want to kind of short, I want to kind of short something here. As we're just watching Workhorse, I guess the news is going to be done on Workhorse. That last little bit will be a loser. I'm almost certain of that. Okay, 209.80 or something here. I really wish Microsoft was touching this level right now, which is 210.30. Then we would be go, go, go. But right now, trying to have a hard time breaking higher as the NASDAQ and the ES just bouncing around. I said I'd put back-to-back charts so I don't have to keep doing this. But here's the NASDAQ and the ES looking very, very similar. You got to really look at the NASDAQ if you're going to look at Microsoft, obviously. So we'll wait to see here. There is a jump spot right here down, 209.20, maybe to go short on Softy if you did like that. I don't know, man. The market right now isn't doing anything. You have to break one way or the other. It's going to have to be 11,300 if you're looking at Softy, if you're looking at the NASDAQ, and then hopefully that break of the S&P, of the futures for the NASDAQ 100 will also create some 209.80 breaks and then upside here. I do like Microsoft 210.30, but that's a little ways away. Let's check back in one more big cap name. If you never heard of this one, please disconnect. This is Apple, 113.80 here. Again, right near VWAP. Like I said, I really think these stocks want to go, but we need to give them the space to do exactly that. And right now, it's not near VWAP. So a lot of these stocks are a little bit below, waiting for the NASDAQ to make up their mind. It could break. If NASDAQ does break, I do like 112. I like the bottom, the fall out of Apple here, just to get it. Just come from 104 last week, a big move up, about 10% in a week. Seems a lot for Apple. So let's just wait to see where it wants to go from here. But Apple, AMD, and Microsoft, I'm going to look and find a good spot on all of these.
Yeah, and just sort of, as you mentioned, one big cap, or a few big caps. Zoom just broke through both the low of the day. I mean, it actually stalled out here at 492 and change, but now negative on the session, just barely under some pressure. I don't actually see any headlines here. I know some people have asked a little bit about that. Worth noting, if it comes back up 500 psychological level from there, 505. Finally, and it seemed like it's taken forever. Why? Because it has taken forever for American Airlines to break through the pre-market top. So there it goes through 1285, a reverse from a short to a long at 71. And let's see if we can get a move up to that 13 even. I'll take it out in front of 13. I got 71s long. If it breaks there, maybe a quick little breakout trade in the afternoon. But as slowly as this is moving up, I'm not anticipating any crazy fireworks going into lunchtime, but starting to finally get its legs to the upside. Here is American Airlines. I'll go back over to JE, if just to mention it does continue to slide downside. I'm all out of my short, but in New York, low of the day, just below 29. If I'm looking at Toronto, which I am, it's about a penny off of that. I'm hoping it bounces up to give me a short at a better price. I'd rather not short the low of the day. Brendan, what do you got?
Just seeing U1 once again, guys, just popping up on volume scanner. You can see if I zoom in here, some volume coming in. Last time I did this, I remember we ran up here, halted, and then came right back down again. So just a heads up if you're still watching U1, guys, getting some activity.
I will not be going
I have not been watching U1 too much, but what I am looking at here is AMD. We are spiking through that. I told you we have a quick look on this. Look at the NASDAQ. Try to get to that 11,310 there, 11,300, and it does come close before turning around. So here goes AMD off to the races there, big spike up. So I think we found the stock that we like if it does run to the north side, the market. AMD, I mean, look how aggressive that move was. Basically 78. 90-ish, all the way up like 30 cents in 1 minute. These are 1 minute charts, so you're going to watch out for this one to continue to spike. That means that NVIDIA here, the name that I'm also long, not in this account, but a longer term, looking to spike as well. We're right at VWAP for all of these, man. This is going to be an interesting play, NVIDIA or AMD. They're just bouncing around here. We could be in store here for a big move if the futures go, but look what happens. We should probably just fade all of those spikes, man. All the way up here, then all the way back down. So a good little look. I'm glad we looked at AMD though, because we saw how aggressive it can get. Maybe start building some longs just in case that happens again.
Yeah, just going to quickly throw it in the chat there. Someone was asking what the future symbol is for the NASDAQ. It's just NQZ20 there. I was looking at U1, and I mentioned here, like it went parabolic to the upside, not touching it with the 10-foot pole to the long. We did have one short, and interestingly enough, the short was off of this 725 area where it terminated, and the bottom of this move right where we got out on the way down. So it does look like we have some obvious levels to look at in the afternoon, right down around this 575 support. But you look at this halt price at 650 and then up to 725. So those are your levels to work off of. If I was going to short this one again, which I would rather see it break through 650, fail to get through 725 before I jumped into a short. But those are the things I will look for. I would not hold anything past this 725. If it goes above that whole price, good chance it's going to squeeze the heck out of some people there, and you don't want to get caught up in that. It did get as high as $8 in the pre-market, and there's obviously the chance it could go parabolic anytime. We've seen it happen in the past. I am still waiting for VXRT. I mean, look at how long it's held this bottom, and I've had my order in to go short off this low since, there we go. And of course, it's is this short sell restricted? Is that going to be the case? So no, it actually has not given me the entry point just yet. So if it takes a couple of cents down, I've changed my stop orders like I said I would. I needed to actually go a couple of pennies lower on these stops so I don't get wicked in on those dark pool prints. An adjustment I made after what happened to me last week.
Yeah, and again, adjusting your trading is very, very important for all traders. Needless to say, you want to adjust to what's happening around you. And just to let you know, out of our last 10%, again, like every single time, we're out of the last little bit of our space there, and we got hit again, so we don't have to worry about it falling back down. But there is this spot right here that's not a horrible opportunity to get long, and or if you're still holding extra long from down here at 19. Watch out if this doesn't hold. I think it's 1960, so if that doesn't hold, I am getting a little nervous to the downside. Okay, we did absorb Workhorse all the way down. There may be, like Brendan mentioned there may be more to this story than we even know, so we're going to wait again upside on Workhorse. It is breaking long again. This is where we got in last time. We used 27 as our out, almost to the penny down there. Do not get out. Now we'll wait to see if it does take out 28. We are waiting there to get a little bit out. So, okay, Workhorse hopefully going to put us back to the high spot here for us on the day. But other than that, man, AMD making moves. I don't know if Workhorse is going to follow the NASDAQ, but we are trying to break on that. So there you go. Workhorse, again, fails at that very top. We make it out of a third and then hold, but I don't know, man. We're here to make a little bit of money. So let's see if Workhorse can go. Well, look, even if this does crack through 27, we're going to give back like roughly 25% of what we made on this move and then out of the last 10% up there. So sometimes holding does make sense, and we did have a winner up there. So let's see if Workhorse can go out a little bit at 28, and then we'll hope for that hero long and see if it does finally break higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, I mean, good look on Workhorse. I feel like I missed an opportunity in Workhorse, looking that gift horse in the mouth and not taking advantage of it. But we'll get back on the horse potentially in SPI. And yes, I did say all of those things on purpose, Andrea. I do see that chat every now and then. And if you're going to tell me something like, I drink every time Neil says horse, well, that you're sort of doing it to yourself there. SPI. Back to this name, I would be more excited about this sort of level here at 10 even if it wasn't for the fact that the volume was starting to taper off on this name. It is also Friday's close price, so there's some significance to that 10. If it gives it back, it just screams a short to me, guys. I also got into that Vaxart, so a 682 short right now. I'll add to it. I'll take this one all the way in front of 7 and then try to hold it all afternoon if I can, as long as 7 doesn't break into that 620 bottom. But if 10 goes in SPI, it's going to be hard not to join that party, given that it is Friday's close and it's making a bit of a double bottom and the volumes out of it, which would usually indicate that the sellers could win out as the buying does dry up just a little bit on SPI. Only 20 minutes to go, guys. So just to recap, a couple of positions here. AAL is making its run up to $13. However, Nikola is also making its move back to the upside on me. I still have my stop at 19.15. It hasn't really given me a heck of a lot of reason to get out. But this was a big time volume spike when it made that turnaround at 18 even. So it's entirely possible the bottom is in, and I'm just stuck holding the last third of this position, hoping for a home run. It was a nice trade off the morning. It still could be, but it does seem like it could break the top off. And if it does, no part of the short. It's a hard stop right here at 19.15.
Okay, so here we go. Maybe Trump is now plugging in the workhorse. There it is. That gets some excitement to the upside now. We told you we'd take some off there. We did at 89, ahead of 28. So we did take that out. Now we'll wait. Oh, it's the only position I have, so let's wait to see. There it goes. Come on, let's go. It's breaking through 28. There it is. There's the new high of the day right now. Or did it crack through that? 28.12 Workhorse trying to go. We've got the long again. We did it right there. Let's wait to see how high up this goes. But one of the most exciting spots of the day that we have. And look, last time, and no pressure to you, Mr. Robinson. We'll introduce in a second. But our last guest today gave everybody a great call with Virgin Galactic. And there goes Workhorse. So, yeah, nice little move to the upside. Feels like we hit the lottery a couple times with this name. Long at 25. Now it's at 28. Kaboom! We did it again on this one. 35 penny winner. Let's throw it over to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, still looking for any kind of updates as far as Workhorse is concerned. One thing, just saw somebody note that is quite key in this. We shouldn't actually be hearing news about USPS from the president, but rather from the United States Postal Service itself. So there's that. But I'll keep an eye out just to see if anything comes of this. Nothing yet so far as news. But yes, it is Trader of the Day time. Guest Trader of the Day time, brought to you by Lewis Daniels Watches. So glad to have Alan Robinson with us today. Good to have you, Alan. It's been an exciting morning. My eyes are still on this news just to see if anything pops up about Workhorse. But tell us what you've been looking at so far today.
Well, I started looking at what you guys put out on your list. Obviously, I just start with that every morning. That's kind of like my go-to. But I jumped in space and I jumped in Workhorse this morning, and I'm also in this PayPal, which my group that I kind of trade with. I do options, so it's kind of hard watching you guys when I do options mainly. So I'm like usually looking for your calls and seeing if they do carry options. But B-Dog, I got to thank you for that call you did on SPI on Thursday. I jumped in that thing right at the bell, and I'm a scary trader, so I kind of sell out quick. So as soon as that thing went to 100, I sold half of it. You know, that's what my guru and my group told me to do. When you get 100, sell half. And
there you
that's
go.
kind of what I did. Wish I didn't though, because that thing ran, as you know, 3,000%. That was bananas, right?
You can never predict moves like that, but glad that worked out for you. That is what we're here for. Love to hear that, Alan. Let's get back to the markets here. Here's Neil.
How's it going, Al? Welcome to the show.
Neil.
How's it going, buddy? Look, obviously, look, that's a fantastic, not just a great trade, of course, in SPI, but that whole notion of having some kind of a plan. Nobody knows when those things go parabolic exactly how far they might go. So I always say you kind of have to have some arbitrary targets in the midterm there. So you get up 100%, you take it. Look, it just so happens to go to 50, and I find if you think you'll ever get that perfect trade, you won't. I don't care who you are. Usually you'll get perfect exits when they're against you, like you'll make the bottom or top wick. But don't hate yourself over it too much. You mentioned today in a bit of a Workhorse trade. Was that an option or was that an equity trade? First off.
No, I took an option. I took anything that's got an option that you guys call out, I'll jump in it, you know, and obviously I'm going to have to look at the chart and see if you guys are actually just doing one of your quick scalp moves. And that's kind of like how I've gotten clapped before, you know, when I first started, because I've only been doing this a few months. So I'm like brand new.
No, but that's an important point that you made there. And one of the things that, you know, from 9 to 9:30, why we go over those names in the watch list is, look, they're going to be in play and they're interesting to us, but we'll always try to say, I know Sean and I do our absolute best to say, okay, this is where I'm getting in, this is why, I like this target here. So if I'm trying to make, you know, from a Workhorse, if there's a break here and it goes through like 26.50 or so, and you think there's a couple of dollars worth of upside, then we'll call that kind of a play. If we want to scalp something like, you know, it might be like a 10, 15 cent move, you'll usually hear us say that, which obviously isn't the greatest play if you're going to be into those options. So do look out for the ones that you think that we're going to think have bigger moves to them, especially when they're going to be in play on the watch list. But I'm glad you follow along. And you said you just started trading. So, of course, my question would be, when did you actually start trading and how did you get into the game?
Man, well, I started in April. So I'm a real estate broker, but you know, when they locked us down and told us that we can't even do an open house, you know, I didn't have any escrows going. I'm like, okay, push has come to shove and they're forcing me to find a new hustle. I'm Jamaican by trade. So, you know, we take down 5-10 job man. So, you know, I just found a new hustle and I went online searching and found some Yahoo who had a course and jumped and paid for the course. And then I found you guys in April. And that's when I was brand new. So, you know, I took a beating following you guys at first until I figured out what the hell was going on. I'm hard-headed, so I never paper traded, which I should have done. I advise all you new traders to paper trade. Don't be the hard-headed Jamaican. But yeah, I jumped right in. And yeah, you know, it's been a hell of a learning experience, but I'm almost like how Prince was when he was talking to Tavis Smiley. I was pissed off when I found trading that nobody told me about this sooner. I felt like, you know, like I wanted to slap somebody. Like, how come no one told me about this? So
well, don't slap anybody.
My
Every
broker
day,
can't even get me to go sell a house now. I'm like, forget selling houses, man. I'm trading.
You're in that hustle. Let's hope so we get some big things of Guan for you then. There.
Big Guan.
That's right. There you go. Yes. Let's hope that we got that for you. And yeah, thank you so much for the love. And the one thing about that, Alan, that you talked about that I think is so super important, and I'm glad that you've watched us from the beginning, but yeah, definitely paper trade. No matter what you're trying to do, get your eggs lined up and your ducks in order before you do hit that buy button. And like you know, sometimes we do take positions a little differently than what our guest traders and our viewers do. But thank you for the love and the support. And make sure you join us at 12:30 if there's any direct questions you did want to ask any one of us today. But okay, I just did want to talk about Workhorse quickly, as it does make that move upside. It went to 28.40. That would have been a 70-cent win. Should have we took it? Yes, we should have. But instead, we get a little barbecued up here. We're doing some jerk chicken barbecue for you tonight there, Alan. So we'll do that. I just told the wife to get the jerk chicken ready to go. It needs to sit, as you know. So we'll put the spices on there and get that going. But Workhorse to the upside right now, I don't know. We're still getting this back down to 27, but watch your positions here. Again, a lot of it, and since you're first time out there, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So the fact that, down here is where they sort of saw the truck down on the lawn, and then you get the instant move up. So that's $26 up to 28, more than a 10% move there for Workhorse. So a nice little move to the backside, but we're not going to give this one too much, only down to 27. I'll do the fruit salad thing when we come back.
Yeah, I just want to quickly jump over back to this PLL because it's a big mover here, guys. It just made a bit of a bottom, and like I said, sometimes you will get a bit of an out that's it's always going to be a little bit of luck. And I mentioned this. I was trailing this short all the way down. Once it broke that opening range low at 28.60, I then moved my trail continuously. I saw a bit of a bid form. That's why we got out for the $5. It's coming back up here, and initially when I sat down, it was going to be like a 38 to 40 area that I was going to test. It actually broke through that off the open, so I threw that one out the window. The lower high now is at 44. If it rolls over at that first level, that 38 to 40, could be another short, but this is on volume that it's starting to pick back up, guys. So it wouldn't be the first time we've seen parabolic moves go in the afternoon or at lunchtime. So I'm going to probably stay away from this one if it breaks 40 even, and then see if it tests the high of the day. Speaking of these ones here, Alan, obviously, if you were trading in SPI last week, most of that trade would have been right off the bat, pre-market, right at the open, it starts going. Have you or do you trade some of these into the afternoon? Or, I mean, obviously, if you follow us, we're off the air at 12. It doesn't mean we stop trading. How about you? Do you continuously trade throughout the day, or is it mostly a morning thing?
Well, my broker would like me to get my butt up out of the chair by 10 a.m., but I'm glued. So I end up staying here till like 1 o'clock, even if I'm not really making any trades. The SPI, speaking of that, I wish I would have just sold out, because now I got 50 shares and I bought 100 shares and sold half, but I'm just holding 50, hoping to see this thing go do something else. But I wish I would have sold that at 40 when, in the afternoon when it hit, but, still learning. So they told me to sell half. They didn't tell me to sell the other half at the top. Now I got free shares. I'm just going to give them to my son.
I like it. Yeah, get them started early. I was saying before, my kid just went off to university there, and he's already sort of maxed out his investment account. So I don't think that's a good idea. I told him to keep some in cash as we go. But yeah, you said an important thing there, and that was getting out some for your profits. And I did want to tell you, Alan, of course, it's pigs that wind up getting slaughtered. So you don't want to hold on to everything. And whenever you say, and I find myself doing it all the time on the show, I hope this goes somewhere. That's generally an indicator that you don't want to hope for anything. You should try to be in full control of your trades, but it seems like you're definitely there. And the one thing is you have the passion, that's for sure. And I don't want to say give up your day job, but if trading is one of those things that you do like to do, hone your skills, and one day, hopefully, you'll be able to be as successful as you want to be, and that would be greatly successful. Before we forget, though, we still have 10 minutes. You're not going anywhere. I just want to give you the opportunity now, if you wanted to say what's up to anybody there, Alan.
Absolutely, man. I got to shout out my whole trading squad on the OG Hub, which is, my options group. And this guy here, man, I'm so glad I ran into him. That's my genie in the bottle. So when you hear me talk about the genie in the bottle, and he's in the military, so shout out OG and all the OGs in the hub, and all my option traders that are on the Trader TV team here. Please join us. He's actually running a special for Trader TV. So y'all jump in this options hub for those option traders, man. Let's go get it. This is what we do. But shout out to all of them, and shout out to Brendan and Valeria and the whole crew there. Thank you guys for putting this show on for free 99, and you can keep the change. So
Free 99,
Free 99.
Mamma mia!
Yeah, there we go.
There's no better
$3.99.
price
I like that one, and it's our favorite. And Valeria, Brendan, all enjoying that comment as well. Thank you, Alan, for everything on that one. We're of course trying to go again. So if you guys are involved in this trade with us, it's trying to go. I think this time, 28 and a quarter. Let's get another piece out. So we'll celebrate this win if it can get going there. 27, 28 and a quarter. Our platform here with Day Trade the World. No offense to any option traders, we love you guys, but we are not option eligible here on this platform, so we'd have to switch up our gear. Not to say we don't eventually do something, but right now it's all equity based, and that's the other thing too. If you get our watch list, Alan and anybody else there looking to trade options, I mean, how many big names did we give you today, including Uber? You could have taken a 36 option long. We loved options to break. That would have given you a nice return for sure if you took the weeklies. So my suggestion to you, Alan, and everybody that's trading options, just try to do what we do, but maybe more on a weekly time frame might give you that, that delta and what you're looking for there on a return. Great, love that.
Alan, because you've been such an awesome guest, I want to give you a couple of quick thoughts here on SPI. And again, you do whatever you want with your position. Just sort of, you'll see us, Sean and I will probably both say this, and even Brendan too, when it starts to go parabolic, these moves to the upside, it's not about knowing where it's going to go. Like I said, I have no idea. But this first halt, and I'm going to give you a 3 minute, this is going to be that first day, right? This first big time parabolic halt, when it got up above $45, came back down. You'll see where it opened back up all the way at 20. Once it holds this level, this is going to be that top, 31. It makes another test the next day and then comes back in. For me, that would be a sign that, okay, it's a little bit less dangerous to short. It's held some levels. Once it comes down off a parabolic move like that, where things got absolutely out of hand, price discovery gets a little bit more clean for traders, especially people that are going short. So that could be an indication that once it could not break through, that next day, and this is on the 24th here, you did see this 30 even top. Selling on that day, I think, would have made a lot of sense. If obviously you're holding way in the money. There is no wrong way to make money. You sold for profit, you're hanging on in the money. It is what it is. It's not going to be a losing trade. But that's what I'm looking at for shorting, because shorting on this way up is almost incredibly dangerous. I was waiting until it actually came back down. I took a couple of shorts that afternoon once it made that level. And then the next day, I think it was good shorts in front of those levels again. So that's our end of it and why we might be thinking short. So people can take profit at those points. Obviously, at that point, you're well in the money. So anything you do is going to be fantastic here. I want to thank you again, of course. We are going to be doing, like I said, coming up. And I got to drop it here for you guys this time, guys. It's going to be a Q&A session. We've never done this before. It's our way of giving back to you guys as members who've joined up. It's going to be at 12:30, so we'll grab a quick little bite to eat and some coffee. We'll come right back and sit down. All of us are going to be here for a half an hour. So bring your questions, bring your enthusiasm. It should be a heck of a lot of fun. Alan, I hope you join us on that one.
Yes,
it'll be a lot of fun. That's what I have to say. Sean mentioned like the jerk chicken there. I'll tell you this right now. I'm like very, very picky when it comes to jerk chicken. Our caterer does a little bit of it here, and it doesn't count. It's you got to be authentic. You know what you need? You need like one of those barrels when you're on the side of the road.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
That's the way it's authentically done. If you're ever in Jamaica, guys, make sure that's what you do. Like, there's lots of places to get it, but if you get on the side of the road, you see that barrel humming, you smell the good jerk chicken, that's what you want to do.
Tell them.
You know I know what it's all. That's what it's all about, guys. But I do have to get back to the market for one thing here, because American Airlines, which I really, really thought was about to make that run to 13, stalls out at like 95, still grinding slowly upwards. I still have a target in front of 13 even. Been long since the 1270 reversal. Hasn't given me a reason to get out. Hasn't given me a reason to be incredibly excited. But a winning trade is a winning trade here. Oddly enough, the slowest mover, it was on our watch list as well. The entire space was in play. Upside ever since this big sell-off at the open, trying to grind up to that 13, which could be a break going into the afternoon, guys.
Okay, yes, Workhorse, again, the only stock I'm in right now, but we are looking at maybe a possible sell-off here in the afternoon. I always talk about that. If there is going to be a stock that you are looking to go short on, my choice would just be AMD. You can see, and why we picked this, look, it's weaker than the market, right? 0.45%. We're up on AMD right now. The NASDAQ is up 1.25. So obviously, they are looking to fade off a little bit of AMD today. It's been high flyer. We have Micron reporting tomorrow, so there could be something there as well. AMD, though, does break this VWAP, and it's so hilarious because I was talking about shorting some up here, never wind up doing that. Breaking to the downside is AMD. We'll check back on Mr. Softy one more time as well. This name continues to be one that I'm looking at. We are looking at this spot, I guess, breaking through 208. So I don't know. It's just a matter of waiting to see what's happening. I still think I would sit on my hands if there was not a lightning setup or something that came through real great, because we do have tomorrow, obviously, there's going to be the election coming in November 8th, and then tomorrow is the very first debate. So that could get pretty spicy. I'm not going to hit that again, but that's still going as well. DraftKings to the upside here, just to give you guys an update on that one. This still moving. If you did want to get some puts on something there, Alan, DraftKings may be that exact one. I just think it's up a little bit too much here. And again, you don't want to stand in front of a moving train, but $59 seems high here for DraftKings, considering not much really has changed in the world of sports gambling. So I don't really know why this is up so high. Their profits, they're just a relatively new company. I do think DraftKings can come down, and I don't know if I want a weekly put or maybe expiring maybe end of October, but you could get some love down here around this 50 mark. I do think about that. Is that what you guys play for your options? Are you guys, depends, I guess, on the stock, but are you guys mainly looking at weeklies, monthlies? How do you play it, Alan?
Well, the way that our group kind of works, it's really slick because Jeannie brought over his whole crew of technicians, and one of them is Big B, Bear, man. He is the Elliott Wave Master. Matter of fact, you guys, I just did my very first YouTube video reviewing the top chat rooms, and you guys came in #1. So check that out. I was pretty excited. It's on my Ghetto Trades email, but it's ghettotrades@gmail.com. But anyway, you guys came in #1 for my stock room. But what we do is we kind of go off the technicals, right? So the Elliott Wave theory, now I'm new to this, so I'm learning it. But all you traders, even if you're veterans, because these guys are veterans like you guys, that thing there will increase your trading win rate drastically when you learn that Elliott Wave theory. I don't know who Mr. Elliott is. I don't know who Mr. Bollinger is, but them dudes are some G's, man. And they know what they were talking about when they put the things together.
Yeah, them dudes be serious. And what was your website again there? Ghetto Trades at gmail.com?
gmail.com.
You just beat us to that. That was going to be the name of our show, and then we realized that you already had the Gmail. No, I'm just kidding there. That's a great one. Great plug there. Thank you, Alan. And we'll look at Elliott Wave. You know what? Maybe we'll do a video on the Elliott Wave theory on our Stock Market Wisdom page. There is stuff on Mr. John Bollinger and his bands. Give it to us, Brendan.
All right, guys. Yeah, a couple minutes to go. Thank you for that, Alan. That was very uplifting.
Thank you, B.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for, my friend. Let's talk about what's coming up, guys. We'll show you this one more time. Coming up in about 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes until we come back on. Join us right here. For members, guys, we're going to do about 30 minutes or so Q&A. Anything on the table? You want to talk strategy? You want to talk trading in any way, shape, or form? Come back at 12:30. We're going to go eat quickly, and then we'll have some time to answer questions for you guys. Valeria, please tell us what day it is today.
Thank you, Brendan. And hey, Alan, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you a good luck with your trades. And what a great start of the week, everyone. Thank you for your support. And guys, if you didn't like this video yet, please smash the like button right now. And dear members, we will see you in 30 minutes to answer your questions. Happy National Strawberry Cream Pie Day.
Hey.
Why not?
Okay, I mean, it's got to be some kind of a day.
It always has to be something tasty and obviously entirely too sweet. I'm going to be 2 thumbs up for that. I doubt we're going to have it for lunch today or even for dessert, but I'll give it the thumbs up. Look, it's been obviously a fantastic show today. I mean, You've been a great, awesome guest, Alan. I want to thank you for all the shout outs that you've given. And best of luck, of course, in all of your trading. Do expect to see you there in a half an hour when we do that Q&A. But you guys know what time it is. Obviously, everyone's excited for this first time Q&A we're giving back to our members. But it's also worth mentioning we are actually dropping a video today. So there's my ugly mug one more time. Look, we see breaking news all the time. You saw it today. Brendan gives it to you with Workhorse. It's part of your repertoire as a trader. Lots of opportunities will happen that weren't part of your actionable plan. So do check that video. We go over breaking news, how we utilize it, how we trade off of it, what we do and what we don't do. So check that out on our Market Wisdom page. Valeria has dropped that link, so all you guys can go and see it. We're going to be back in about a half an hour, and I hope we'll see you there. Again, fantastic guest, Alan. But you know what I got to do here. Got to go down the line. For Valeria, for Sean Katina, for Brennan Wickens, and myself, Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you in half an hour Q&A. Thanks, Alan.
Whoop, whoop.